And I'm recording, so we're live.
What's going on?
Welcome to Painkiller Already, 157?
Yes, it is 157.
Yes!
Nailed it.
Victory. I totally knew that.
We're
officially into
Saturday.
3 years now.
This is new. Oh, Wings, you didn't tell. I don't know if I should have asked this in private. Why didn't we record last night?
Oh, we didn't record last night because I thought I had some ass locked up.
I totally... I didn't put those
okay.
I'm sitting there talking to this girl. She wants to meet. She wants to go hang out at Target and stuff. And like, I've been talking to her for a while, and I'm like, yeah, I can get this.
That's where you lock down the
and then my brain goes, you've got PKA tonight. And I'm like, fuck.
Dude,
He was really worried about this, too, because he texted me, and I didn't reply right away because I was in the middle of a game. And then I wanted to text Woody as well to see if it was going to be cool with him to do it, today. And like he texted me like twice, another time, and then he called me. I was like, he really is concerned about this.
I spent a good 30 minutes lining up a new time.
Wiggs was like an executive secretary. He's like, what time can it be done? And I was like, well, this would work. And he's like, all right. And then he came back really quick. Like, everybody else has agreed to this time. Can we do it then? I'm like, okay. He was like
it was as coordinated as I've ever seen him be.
Wings. We ripped on Wings for half-assing stuff a couple weeks ago. We finally found out what gets him into, full effort coordination.
I'm telling you, if I had hired a stripper for the boot camp, and like every time that he was like, nah, man, that yogurt shit, I don't even like yogurt. Fuck that. And she like had yogurt all over her titties. She was like, time for your yogurt, Wings.
I'll be like, you can't film this. You gotta go away.
Like that's how we fed Wings his yogurt 7 times a day. It was just right. It was on some stripper's big fake titties.
See, Wings, you don't need a physical trainer. You need a live-in stripper for like 6 months.
Hey, we have a pair of sponsors. Sorry to break you. All right, first we have Primity Gaming, a community and market is a site where you can chat with other gamers and have fun while buying and selling game goods. Unique features, great contests for cash prizes, etc. So there's a link to Primity Gaming in the description. If you guys are worth your salt, if you're true PKA fans, this site will be crashed by now. So let's see you do that.
Mm-hmm. It's hot, right, Kyle? Hottest website on the internet.
There are so many people in it right now that it's having a hard time handling it, actually. There's a lot of people on there. I was on there just a minute ago trolling some people about Call of Duty, and they didn't know who I was, so we had a good time.
Awesome. So Primity Gaming is our first sponsor. Our second one is Elon P., repeat customer here. Again, best YouTube channel on the internet. And he's the guy that does the Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, lots of mod stuff, Incredible Hulk mod, Batman mod, stuff like that. So check them out. Links in the description. Primity Gaming on the right. You can read what they're all about. And I guess we'll kick off with the show. But check those guys out.
You think we should start with the Xbox talk?
I wouldn't mind some Xbox talk. It's
when did Tech Talk become like unacceptable to people? I didn't.
Oh, has it?
I thought
become
people
unacceptable.
I saw a lot of people being upset at the amount of Tech Talk. In
if you don't read all the comments, they don't even hurt you anymore.
Well, I was under like when I was first joining the show, when we would talk about microphones, people loved it. They were like, I love Mic Talk. But apparently now Tech Talk, I don't know. I didn't understand it because I thought I think Tech Talk is cool. And
I like Tech Talk.
If we're on YouTube, you're probably a
little nerdy.
You're probably a little bit nerdy, so I figured people would naturally enjoy Tech Talk.
I think we need to increase more sex-based topics because we've kind of faltered off of that in the last 3 months.
We kicked off the show. We kicked off the delayed show because you were trying to lock down some ass, Wings.
Yeah.
Target of all places.
Hey, so where do we want to go first? Do we want to talk about Wings' sex life, or do we want to talk about the Xbox One?
Oh, you know what everybody wants to hear about. It's not even a close call.
All right, so the Xbox One.
Yeah, that's right.
It just came out.
No. Oh, I want to throw this out there. We're recording this on a Saturday afternoon. It's the busiest day of the week for WoodyCraft.net. So if my attention is temporarily diverted on there, do not think I'm playing. I'm just, like Kyle said the other week, a foreman looking out the window, just making sure the job site's running okay while I'm doing this.
Yeah, there's
totally playing Minecraft.
Yeah, 2,000 of you or 1,800 of you are on there right now, paying money to have a good time. So Woody has to check in every now and then, make sure that you guys are having a good time and somebody
I
has.
always
a
picture Woody have like a kid standing above ants, mushing them with his finger. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
let this one live.
You wait a minute. You always thought of Woody that way, as some sort of godlike titan above ants,
Yeah.
squishing some with his finger and letting others go past.
Mushing and smushing. You're God.
It's introducing different things to see how the culture will react.
There are elements of that, like oh, it's way too easy to get rich on this server. We're gonna cut the price of cocoa beans in half, and you're like, oh, when you I should all this Minecraft talk. It's not what people want, but there's a thing you can do in Minecraft where you invoke a kraken. Like if you fish too much and you're like abusing the system, the kraken comes out, and it's supposed to kill players who aren't paying attention. Like maybe they're AFKing it. But on my server, people were invoking the kraken just because the thunder annoyed everyone. And it's like, you motherfucker. So I made my Kraken about 50 times harder to kill, and he hurts you about 50 times harder than normal. My Kraken will you're gonna die. You're gonna die every time. There's my Kraken is like 500 and 0 against people.
See, that's what I would be doing. Like you always talk about, let's not get into Minecraft talk, but you're always talking about the rating and stuff. If I were on there with a bunch of friends, I'd be like, let's go fuck that Kraken up. Let's all go out here. Everybody get your bows out, and we take down the Kraken.
No.
No? Even if there were
Not
50
happening?
people? What if you had 50 kids out there?
50, that's about what it might... It'd be, in the room that you fish here, it'd be hard to do. But I guess if you went out and had 50 people, that's about what it would take, I think. But still...
Yeah, someone should do that.
It goes after the guy that invoked it, like the guy that made it happen, and it stops attacking once he's dead.
Yeah, you gotta protect that guy. That's the game.
So that would be the thing. You would have to really protect that guy.
Sounds like a new game mode to me. Sounds like
Sounds like a YouTube video to me.
If you
Killing
start-
the Kraken on WoodyCraft.
If that starts working, I'm pumping that shit up. Like, oh, is my Kraken only 50 times stronger than it ought to be? It should be 500. That thing needs to be. My
So,
Kraken
Wings,
will
how
chase
much
you
pussy
across
have
the
you
dirt.
locked down at the target?
How much pussy have I locked down at the target? That doesn't make sense.
Well,
Is it the store
is
target?
that a regular place that you take ladies?
Oh man. I live in a town that's very fucking boring. I understand that I live right here next to Myrtle Beach, but when you live at the beach, it fucking sucks. I mean, most of the time you don't want to go where the tourists go because they don't know what the hell they're doing and they have this certain way of doing things. So what you do is you mainly drive around, or you go basically thrift store shopping or walking around the Target, and you just get to know each other. It's more of like a meet and greet kind of thing. It's more of like an online dating thing. You want to meet in a public place.
I see. Okay, so that's what it was. She kind of wanted to meet. Was it her idea to meet there?
Yeah.
So she just wanted to make sure that you weren't some psychopath who's going to murder.
Yeah.
Right, a public place with plenty of people around, and this isn't gonna-
So after that, you went back to her house?
Yeah, and we had pita bread, hummus, and she had some of those box soups that I so enjoy and love. 'Cause I was talking to her about the diet, and she didn't want to ruin my diet, and so I'm like, okay.
How
So-
old is this young lady?
She's about 31.
That's nice.
Ooh.
I like an older lady.
Did
Maybe
she have all the things that you ate, or did you have to shop?
She
Separate
had
each
it.
other.
She's in much better shape than I am.
Oh.
All right. She would that be the oldest woman that you had ever been romantically involved with in some way?
No. Brandy was 34.
Oh, was she?
Oh, really?
She was young looking 34.
She was. I would, if you told me 24, I'd have believed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He was 34.
Does that bitch still have your camera, by the way?
No, I had the camera at Kyle's house.
All right.
Does she have anything of yours?
She didn't have anything of mine.
Isn't she who broke
Good.
the iPhone?
She did.
hmm
Oh, I say we break her nose.
I'm not even
throwing that out
exaggerating.
there.
If she had broken my iPhone, I'd have called the cops.
I did call the cops.
Well, they didn't do anything.
Well, one, since they didn't see the iPhone getting broke, they couldn't really do anything about it. And two, I called them because she broke the iPhone and she said she was keeping my camera. So I'm like, look, I showed her my iPhone. She broke this. She's got my camera. I don't know if it's on premise or not. So they went in the house. They couldn't find the camera. And because she said she had left it at work and they work in a different jurisdiction, so I called the Surfside cops, but she works in Myrtle Beach. I had to get a whole new set of cops for a different jurisdiction. And it became a pain in the ass.
But you got it back. That's a nice camera, by the way. I handled that camera a little bit. Took some photos of Wings for his
Is it
before photos and his cow
T3i?
photos.
T4i?
T4i, yeah.
T4i has the autofocus. That's nice.
I felt like I was an actual photographer. I was snapping away out there, and the pictures were always looking good. We got some nice. So for those of you who don't know, one of the prizes for the Indiegogo is a poster of wings with some cows, and so we went out and did that little photo shoot.
Have you decided which one you're going to use yet?
I haven't even looked at them since I took them. Kitty's
I think you should do the one where I grab the horns.
I like that one. There was one where he like bent down and grabbed a cow's horn. That was kind of cool.
And these are big horns. These are like almost bull-like horns on this cow.
Yeah, they're a couple feet long. Yeah, those are going to be good pictures. So back to your sex life. Do you think there's going to be is there going to be another date? Did things end well? Have you been texting with this lady? What's up?
Here's the thing with Jordy. There's always another date because I like to think of myself as the stereotypical unbad boyfriend. Like I'm not really hateful. I don't.
Until
really
it comes to Christmas, right?
Yeah, until it comes to Christmas. I suck at getting Christmas gifts. I never grew out of the kid stage when it comes to Christmas gifts. I just got to the point where like I don't need anything. Don't get me anything, so I won't get you anything.
Okay. So you're gonna get this young lady something for Christmas?
She might not be my girlfriend by the time Christmas
But
rolls
if
around.
she is,
she'll be one of his girlfriends, so you might have to spread the budget around.
Yeah.
I just slid a picture in front of
the budget is zero.
Never mind about the picture.
I color her something in like a coloring book and like give it to her.
You'd color in a coloring book and give it to her.
Kyle likes that stuff.
Let me say this.
Totally what I'm getting Kyle for Christmas this year. I'm going to draw him a picture.
So they are making fun of me because last year my girlfriend drew this really cool charcoal pencil drawing of like a skull on this like fancy pillow, and it's she
Charcoal?
framed it.
Step up your game, bitch! I'm getting him macaroni art.
She framed it for this nice glass and gave it to me, and it was well wrapped.
Picture
I liked
like
it.
a shoebox with a macaroni spaghetti monster in it, like a diorama.
It was a lovely Christmas gift, and probably the most heartfelt Christmas gift I've ever been given.
Until this year, when I top it.
God! Till I show up with that turkey I made by tracing my hand.
Right.
Just spell out WoodyCraft.net and macaroni underneath it.
Yeah, that's
colored construction paper.
Woody's like Merry Christmas, and attached to that is a coupon to save 10% on a sword.
Yeah. Got a free month of Netflix for that gift as well.
Where would one get such a thing?
So wait, how did the date end? Like, did you?
Did you leave Target? Like,
Yeah, went to her house.
Okay.
Well, basically, went to her house, talked, and I think we ended up going to some pottery store, some big old pottery warehouse thing.
It wasn't
and I ended up
Pottery
getting
Barn,
The
was
Pottery Barn?
It could be Pottery Barn. I'm not sure. Never been to it before.
Me neither, actually. It's well known, but I haven't been there. Carry on.
So I got me a soup cup, and I got a 3 or 4 good bowls because when I got back to my house, I realized there's no such thing as a good bowl in my house. So I went and bought some bowls, and then I just ended up dropping her off. You usually don't push for sex on the first date unless they're pushing for it.
But how did can you? There's some detail in here I'm missing. Like, you met at Target, you hit it off, you went back to her place, and then you escalated from her place to Pottery Barn.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the fun, spontaneous person at this point. I know the person you're not usually.
You said earlier though that she was texting you, and you got the feeling that she was ready
I might
to
have
go.
misread a signal. I mean, like, it's hard when you first meet somebody because you're unsure what body language actually means. Like, when you're with somebody for a while, you know when they want it. To me, like, it has to be pretty obvious, or you're gonna very much fuck up any chance of like a ongoing relationship if you push for sex too quickly.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
I've never mind.
That was a great story.
So
that was
I
a
met
great.
this. So
there was
all
a
right,
great story behind
I'll
it.
tell a story. I met this girl. She had gotten in touch with me, and she knew that I was going to be in the same place that she lived, and she had sent me some photographs of herself, and I said, okay, well, I am at this hotel. You should come by. And she's like, should I bring some drinks? And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, I don't drink. I don't enjoy alcohol, but I'm like, oh yeah, totally. Bring some drinks, whatever you want. So she shows up with like a whole bottle of Jameson, and like a super Slurpee from like the gas station full of like orange soda to mix it with.
I'm so
And
out of it. What's Jameson?
It's like Irish whiskey, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a fan. It's what they were making me drink in Chicago before I vomited on the side of the car.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And so she shows up with this stuff, and we have a couple drinks we're in the lobby sitting with each other, and she's a pretty hot girl. She's got some facial piercings, which I think are interesting every now and then. She had like a nose ring, a lip ring, an eyebrow ring. She's put together very nicely. We go up to my hotel room, and I had a suite, so we're sitting there on like the couch or whatever, drinking these drinks. She gets a few drinks in her. Then we get into bed, and we're just like lying in bed with each other, still talking, and I try to do some stuff, and she's like, whoa, 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 I'm not a slut. I didn't come here for that. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you here for? Do you not know how human relationships work? You just contacted a man who is new to your city, who's just visiting, said, hey, I'd like to come hang out with you. Sent me some photos of you in a bathing suit, then brought alcohol to my hotel room and got in bed with me. What was your end goal? Where were you heading with this? She spent the night.
She wanted to be a long-distance relationship.
I don't mean to get too graphic in this. I mean, this isn't Mail Monday after all. What did happen?
Nothing happened.
Did you kiss her?
No.
Not even a kiss. Did she?
She was not down for anything of a adult nature. She was there as like a friendly fan, and I guess that's okay. But you have to understand that when a woman tells a man that she wants to come to his hotel room and bring alcohol and and then she gets in bed with you, what do you think I'm thinking? I was just shocked. And it wasn't like I was like, why doesn't she like me? Am I not pretty enough? I was like, what the fuck's your problem? You're not a normal human being. I was like, in every other experience I've had throughout my life where anything like this has happened, there's been sex. Like this is the next step is sex. That's where we go from here. But nothing happened. And that was a weird experience. And I told my buddy who had seen my cousin who had seen her in the lobby, he was like, oh, she was totally DTF. What'd you do? You must have fucked up. And I'm like, I don't know. All I did was make some jokes, tickle her a little, and give her some booze.
That's like
where we got.
Yeah, I don't see the flaw so far.
I don't know. That was odd.
She needs, whoever you are, you need to figure out like what kind of signals you actually want to send and send those signals instead of the hey, let's I'm DTF, but oh no, I'm not.
And there had been some flirting too. Like this wasn't a thing where I was like, where there hadn't been any flirting or any like mildly suggestive talk or anything like that. I don't know what happened. Maybe she like got her period like when she like right in the middle of her coming up into my room. I guess that's a possibility, and she was embarrassed or didn't want to deal with that. But that or she's just a Looney Tune. So if you're down there in Tampa, my dear, you're fucking crazy.
But she's not a slut, so don't worry about that.
She's not a slut. Not at all.
Not at all. Sending unsolicited pictures of herself in a bikini to.
I never understood this about women. Like, who gives a fuck if you're a slut or not? I don't. That's a positive.
I do. So okay. So, what are your feelings about women that you would consider to be loose, Lefty?
I mean, like as sexual
potential for. As potential for some sort of a relationship, or what could she be? If there was, and let me give you an example, because loose is kind of a broad term. Like, let's say this girl, you met her like yesterday, and she's ready to have sex, and that this is a girl who dresses kind of slutty and says kind of dirty, suggestive things, and maybe not in public in front of other people, but she's got no problem with it. She's pretty open about sex, and she's just DTF.
And can I throw something else out there?
Yes.
So my idea on numbers, I think, are a little crazy, right? Because I met Jackie at 19, right? I was 19 years old when I met Jackie. And, at that time, if someone had slept with like 15 people, they were pretty loose.
Yeah, 15 is still pretty high, man.
Well, I mean, if you're Lefty, how old are you? Is that a secret?
26.
So if you're 26 and you've been sexually active for about 10 years, I don't know what that number is. It might be 8. It might be 11. I don't know. 15 is not an extraordinary number.
Here's the thing, though. I think that with women, all right, so it's different for men and women. I'm sorry, but it is. What's that thing people say? A lock that can open any key is valuable, but a key that any lock that but a lock that any key can open isn't valuable at all. Something like that, which is just a sexist way of saying it's okay for men to fuck around, but not women.
Right.
But I think the idea of someone who you consider to be, a decent person as far as their sexual stuff goes, is that maybe they've been in 2 or 3 medium-term relationships. Like maybe this girl has dated like 5 guys in her whole life, but they've been for like 2 years at a time, or 3 years at a time, or maybe 3 guys for 4 years at a time, something like that.
You see, for me, the absolute number doesn't bother me that much. I mean, we're talking here about, I don't know,
whether it's 4 or 8.
Yeah, but right, the total number of guys, of individuals that a prospective girl has slept with doesn't really matter unless we're getting Wilt Chamberlain claim numbers like, oh, I slept with 1,000 guys, like, whoa, okay, because you've probably got a disease or two. But I look at the aggregate number as more of like an indicator of like, well, okay, the total number doesn't mean anything to me, but does it indicate something about you and the way you act? Because if it's like, yeah, and then you get more into, well, if you were in a relationship, why did those relationships end? What were you like in between relationships, et cetera, et cetera? Because if it's a big number and that big number is like, it's like, well, I've been in 3 2-year relationships, I've been sexually active, blah, blah, blah. And, if the math doesn't work, like, wait a minute.
That's the other thing. So,
maybe she just like to fuck.
Women, yeah, that's a whore. Women lie a lot. Which she likes to fuck with a lot of different men.
Why you gotta label her?
Women will always lie about that number, and that's why I have only asked that number of one woman, and it was because I knew she'd tell me the truth. Like she just would. She we know each other really well. This isn't my girlfriend. It's another girl I used to know, and I asked her, and I knew she was going to tell me, and I think she had, it was like 9 or something. Like, and she's like 28, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. But if she'd been like 50, I'd have been a little concerned. 50 is a big number when you're in your mid-20s.
All right, let me ask you this, guy. How many women have you slept with?
I'm not going to say that number, Wings.
What makes you different from being a whore than somebody
kids,
else?
Here we go. We learned 2 things. Number one, Kyle's going to say that number. But we also learned that Kyle knows that number.
Oh, I know exactly what that number is because and it takes me a minute to like sit there and
pictures.
I've added it up before. It's a few women, but what's that song? I love them everyone.
Let me ask you this: can you count them on your fingers and toes?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't bother you at all that your girl's been with someone else?
It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
dude.
I think it's just something that you just don't really think about a lot. That there's a reason she's with you, and I'm just gonna say this. I'm just really amazing in bed. So like these women are always just like this.
I
the
think
best
we all
ever.
share that, right?
Just
Jordy,
breathe.
back me up here. Amazing.
Just trembling and breathing heavy and laying there for like 5 minutes after trying to gather their
hold it up like a lawn chair.
Wait, I don't know what the fuck you're
She's not even using the entire bed they pass out on. She's up in the corner next to the wall.
Like when, I never brought this up when we were doing the boot camp.
I hear that she's trembling and laying in bed. I mean, okay, rookie. I had to take her.
You didn't make it to the floor?
I had to carry her to the bed so that she could recover.
God.
We use the whole house and every flat surface.
That's one of the things I think about when I'm working out. It's like, why am I doing all this cardio? It's not like I'm going to have to run from a bear. The odds of me having to fight off an assailant are like 1 in 300. So, but the odds of me having sex tonight are like 100%. That's my main
on
physical
this show,
activity.
right? I can do maybe 5 pull-ups. But sit-ups, holy shit, does Woody have a core, right? Where do you think that core came from? Huh? 7,000 years old. Almost set it up a minute. That's not bad.
But yeah, with slutty women, I just don't think that's relationship material. I don't think I could date a woman who I thought had been with, let's say, I'm trying to think what my cutoff would be. And once again, it'd be impossible to determine this number unless you did a census of all the men in your area.
Why are you thinking the number? Let me say about my thing with slutty women. If a woman's been with way too many guys, to me, 15 plus would be way too many. I'd be worried about her being faithful to me much more.
You count
than
blowjobs?
her- Huh?
Would it be okay with if she blew 15 guys but only had sex with 2?
Blowjobs don't count. I mean,
Blowjobs don't count in your book?
Yeah.
So you go with the clerks.
I go with the clerk's mentality because I look at it like this. I mean, even in this day and time, a woman's more likely to give you a blowjob than she is to give you the pussy.
I'll be honest with you. I have never been with a woman who only gave me a blowjob. Let me make sure about that.
You never just gotten just a blowjob.
Let me go to the files, the
birthday and
archives.
stuff.
I sound like such a douchebag when I say things like that, but I'm thinking right now.
So you say on me you've never?
Yeah, that happened once.
just
That
a
happened
blowjob.
once, but it was a fat girl. And
Not even count like your birthday and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's been times where like I went. I'm talking about like I met a girl, got a blowjob, and then
all you got
that
was
was
the
it.
blowjob. You never had
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
with her later on. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that happened once.
I'd be more worried about her being faithful to me because when I get into a relationship, I'm a committed relationship person. Like I'm not gonna be talking to girls. I'm not gonna be surfing like websites for girls. I'm not gonna be lining up prospects. I'm with you until you decide not to be with me.
You are an amazing relationship kind of guy.
No, wait a minute. You
And-
broke up with your last girl.
I broke up with Shalene. Brandy broke up with me.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. But you broke up with Shalene.
But Shalene was just Miss Shalene was a gold digger, and like I seen that was all she was in it for.
I've noticed that, and I hope that you've learned from it, but you tend to provide that like supporter role, that the sugar daddy. Quick.
I don't provide a sugar daddy role. I don't think
Yeah, you
Well,
do.
no, yeah, you do. You're like, I don't provide a sugar daddy role, but I'll tell you this: by date 3, I got you on my cell phone plan. You
we were
give
together
me
for like
4S?
6 months before I put her on my cell phone.
You need a
plan.
car, baby? I can get you a car.
Do you want to take some nice digital photos? I got you a camera right here. There you go.
Yeah, I think everybody knows you slip into the sugar daddy role quicker than most.
Nah, I don't
If you
spend
don't
as
think
much
so,
as I think.
you need to do some
No.
more analysis.
Look at
There's nothing wrong with
you
it.
see-
It
No,
just
wait,
means
there's
that-
nothing at all wrong
No,
with
no,
it.
no. You guys are like look. The iPhone cost me $1, and then I had a 2-year contract with it. That's $1.
But the contract for what is it a month? What did it add to your?
$35.
So that's 24 times 35. That's $770.
It's like $800, something like that. Yeah. But the idea was she was going to pay it. Like I didn't sign that contract thinking, oh, I'm gonna pay this for you. It just I'm not gonna let it fucking tarnish my credit and get me late phone bills. I'm
For
gonna pay
sure,
the shit.
you've done the right thing from beginning to start. All I'm saying is, it's a while before I start.
And that was 6 months in, and that's because she didn't have her phone for 3 months, and I wanted to talk to her. I'm like, well, look, I've gave you 3 months. You haven't come up with a phone. I can get you one. I got a contract spot open. Let's
Did
do
you
this.
get both of the last two girls' phones?
I lived with Shalene for like 2 years though. Shalene was a gold digger, and like I'm not gonna lie, I did some bad things with Shalene I shouldn't have done, and I'm still recovering from Shalene. But like I don't fall into the gold. No, I try not to help them out now. As every relationships come, I've gotten progressively better about not helping them out. Be your own person, stand on your own two
So
legs.
let me ask you this: this girl that you saw last night, if she were to text you and be like, "I'd love to go out tonight, but I really have to go work some overtime. I'm running late on my rent. I need an extra $100 to pay that. So I'd like to go on this date, but I got to work this overtime to get this $100."
I'm gonna be like, I gotta get the 200 wins on TDM on PS4. That's what I'd be like.
Well, let me rephrase it. What if she said, "I'd like to give you some of this pussy and suck on those giant balls you have. I know you have them because I could hear them slapping your thighs while we walked around Pottery Barn getting those bowls. But got to work this overtime."
I'm not. That's a different scenario, but I'd still be torn.
Damn right, of course you do, and that's borderline prostitution at that point. But that's the nature of man-woman relationships.
Yeah,
To be honest.
I mean, like $100. How much is $100 to me? I mean, I did buy Battlefield for 2 fucking systems. This is a waste of $100 goddamn dollars.
Why don't
like
you have it on
Battlefield?
PC? The best.
Mhm.
Baby.
You don't like Battlefield?
Even I know that.
Dude, we'll get to Battlefield in a minute, but like,
All right, yeah.
I've wasted more than $100 before.
Wings is like, how much money is left in that Indiegogo?
I haven't even touched the Indiegogo money yet. I haven't even.
Yeah, we have. So if anybody's wondering, because I saw some people asking, so the money's still in there as far as I know. We haven't taken it out yet. I'm still doing some accounting. I'm still going through So what I did, I kept up with all of my receipts because for the most part, I paid for everything out of my personal monies. And so I'm going through the receipts, figuring out what I spent on food and equipment and, I don't know, a tank of gas maybe. And Jeremy was making, like I said, $12 an hour. And, we had to set him up on a minimum hours per day thing. So, an hour or two a day at least. So I got to come up with all that and then get it all right. And, there's going to be some money left over, of course, and that's for the personal trainer. And then there's taxes. So, 30% out of 9,000 is roughly $3,000 that needs to be set aside to go to Uncle Sam. So just so everyone knows, we don't have like $20,000. It's not like we have $10,000 and we're just going to go, blow it tomorrow. Like
I won't, since Kyle's here, did I spend any money on game systems?
Any of the Indiegogo money?
Right. Did I
no.
buy my PS4 with Indiegogo money?
Well, no, you have, because the money is still in the Indiegogo. Technically, none of that money has actually been spent. Wings went out of his own pocket, and it was a debate for him whether he wanted to get the Xbox or not. He was like, and he went through it. He's like, I got X amount in my bank account. I got X amount coming in at this time. If I buy the Xbox One, then I only got this much in my bank account until this day. Do you think I should do it? So it wasn't like, how soon can we get the Indiegogo money? It's Xbox time. Nothing like that. We're being 100% legit with the money, and nothing. We're not spending the money on anything that the Indiegogo doesn't say we're spending the money on, or that we haven't said we're spending the money on from day one.
I just want to clarify that because I get messages all the time stating that I got that PS4 because of the Indiegogo. No, I came out of pocket for both of them.
Yeah,
he did.
Let me just rephrase it this way for people that don't get it yet. The Indiegogo money's still in the account. Some of it's been quote-unquote spent because Indiegogo money owes them, like needs to reimburse some of the stuff they had, but it's all still in the account. But, yeah, Jeremy needs to be paid. Costumes need to be paid.
Actually, Kyle needs to be paid. That's the only person that really needs to be paid. We just got, because everybody's been paid except for Kyle, and I'm not making any profit out of any of this thing. It's all just for the heck of doing it. But I'm just trying to get back to square one.
The people that wash his yacht have gone without tips.
Oh God! I gotta get down there and do something about that boat. I gotta get rid of that thing. Want to buy a boat, Woody?
No, I don't.
I'll give you a good price.
Yeah, it would give me debt. I don't want it.
You could sail it back up to North Carolina.
I don't know how to sail.
I'll go with you.
This is still a horrible. I don't.
You're supposed to be like, you don't either, and then the truth is, I don't.
No, thank you. You'll have to find another buyer. Which should be pretty easy. I mean, it's December.
Yeah, I know, right? Who doesn't want a Christmas yacht?
It's like those Lexus commercials, except, on Christmas morning, there's a big yacht in the driveway with a big-ass bow on it.
We should do a yacht thing like we did for Wings' truck. Like every show, like a little yacht sale update.
I know I shouldn't say this, but I had an idea.
Oh?
We scuttle those yachts.
Who has the best truck on PK and get together and do truck decathlons.
Oh, you'd be so embarrassed. How sad.
What would the competitions consist of?
We could tow 6,000-pound trailers uphill. We could do 0 to 60. We could do a mud run. We could do the whole hook up and pull them.
Oh my God, he's totally tailored this thing to big trucks. We need to go off-road. We will set up a series of obstacles and see who gets to the other side. Winner.
That could be one of the competitions, but you gotta excel in other things.
We'll make it the first one. Wait for you to bash your truck.
We can do longevity runs for gas mileage. We can do accommodations for seating passengers.
I might get you on gas mileage.
And you'd beat me on gas mileage.
Yeah. But
see, there's things I would beat you on. So it's like give me's on a lot of things.
What things would you beat both of us on, though, Wings?
Truck wise?
Yeah.
I'm fast with both your trucks.
Oh. That can't be.
But mine's got that 373 gear in it that you're always talking about.
No, yours got a 323 gear, and mine's got a 373. Isn't
that better for top end speed?
It has better top end speed, but you also have what you call torque management and limiters on your truck since it's a stock tune.
Oh, those lights have been flashing forever. That's not working anymore.
Wings, 4.56, baby, 4.56.
So you got some big old off-road differential.
0 to 60 in a hurry, baby.
Yeah, but you ain't getting to 80 in a hurry.
Who needs it? It's not-
80 Wings. I don't. Wings hasn't been to 80 since 1997.
Yeah. My truck didn't slow down through the power band. It'll peg out and just still be going like you're going 40 to 50.
Wings truck is a little bit like the DeLorean from Back to the Future. When you hit 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit, and it's gonna be falling off.
We assume that's what will happen. Who knows? It's never done.
This is an idea I had because everybody talks about who has the best truck. I'm like, we're only 3 hours away. We could see this.
Well, it just depends on what your definition of best is. Wings
It doesn't matter. Your best truck, by definition, is something that suits your lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So are we done with wing sex talk? Have we milked this for all it's worth?
I have other topics that we can switch to. This
Oh.
one's halfway.
I think the
completed.
Xbox One we need to switch to because I want to really.
Fuck that.
I'm unhappy with Microsoft.
We can talk about the Xbox One, or we can talk about 4K resolution and how it relates to porn.
Yeah, that.
What?
Yeah, The Verge did an article talking about 4K, and for people that don't know, porn has driven more technology than you might guess. You know, porn is often held as the reason that VHS beat
beta.
right? And when the Blu-ray versus what was the other one called?
HD DVD.
Yeah, it was. Thanks. They were saying that the porn guys choosing Blu-ray was a big part of why that won, and now they're saying that 4K porn is going to drive 4K adoption.
Can you define 4K for us?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing because I think a lot of people might not know. So you've probably heard of 720p and 1080p, and that is how many horizontal lines are in your thing, right? So I hope I got my numbers right. I think 1080p is, if you could picture a grid filled with pixels, it's 1920 this way, all those, and it's 1080 this way. So that's a lot of pixels. 720 is, I think, 1280 in the long way and 720 high. Well, 4K is a bigger deal. It's roughly equivalent to 4 1080p monitors, but they're not always 4 times bigger. As a matter of fact, they almost never are. Instead, you get a sharper picture because the pixel density is tighter. So if you were to take a 1080p monitor and blow it up to stadium size, it's really, really blurry. If you were to take a 4K monitor and blow it up, it would look better. That's essentially it. So a 4K monitor has 4 times as many pixels in usually about double the space. So it's a sharper
Are we
picture.
showing porn on like jumbotrons now? Like what is the?
No, that's
well,
so.
what you
So
really
it's the,
get is that you'd get a sharper picture. That's the essential difference there.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be bad for porn?
no.
That people argue that. So I've got a couple things. I've read this thing about porn stars hitting the gym for HD. They said when 1080p rolled around, and I don't know if you guys have seen high quality 1080p porn. Like you may
It's
have,
great.
yeah, you may have seen HD porn on like Pornhub or something. But trust me, it might be 1080p, but that stuff is like a 2 megabit bit rate or whatever.
It's not very sharp.
No.
Yeah,
When you go onto like Brazzers.com or
with a
like
paid account.
with a paid account, like you see like light reflecting off of ass cheeks. You see like
Droplets
not
of water from sweat.
it literally you see like just the cum shots are just so much more epic when you've got that 1080p 60 frames per second.
The hair you see, like
Everything.
and to me, so I'm like kind of a camera guy. Like you hear me do mic talk, I could do camera talk just as well. And one of the things I look at is how it brings out the darks, whether the blacks are crushed or whether they're showing the individual strands of hair. You can see stuff in real HD that you don't get on like the Pornhub, what they call HD, but it's really compressed to hell.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way, to my fans for sending me all of those paid porn account usernames and passwords. I have dozens. Dude, I'm not even exaggerating. I was talking to somebody the other night on the phone, and we were having the same conversation. Not on the phone, we were texting. And we were having the same conversation about high definition porn. And I was like, "Would you like a Brazzers account?" And they were like, yeah." And I'm like, "Hang on a minute." I'm like going through my YouTube messages, and I just find the latest one that's been sent to me, and I'm just like, "Here you go." And they're just like, "Holy fucking shit! What is this? This is incredible!" Because it's an inlet, and also like if there's some porn stars who are actual porn stars, it can be difficult to find their works on free sites. But if there's a porn star in particular you're a fan of, and you go on Brazzers, all of their work's there. Lots of good HD stuff. You can have a good time with it with a real porn. It's not worth I don't know if it's worth the money. How much are they? Like 60?
They're like $30 a month generally.
$30 a month is a lot.
That's a lot for porn.
I think Brazzers.
I lost you, Kyle. You still there?
Yeah, let me see how much Brazzers is per month.
So this is the thing. There's a debate over this. Some people say 4K will drive porn adoption, just like. No, I'm sorry. Porn will drive 4K adoption, just like porn's driven every other tech advancement. Other people say porn's not better, and people have a strong preference to free. As much as we've all heard the name Brazzers, like Pornhub and RedTube and which other free ones are out there, get all the traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those sites are responsible for the big downloads. Oh, we lost Kyle for a bit, maybe.
No, you didn't. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I just read that message and was replying.
I see. I lost it. Oh, yeah. So, one, is porn better with more definition? I think it is, especially if you have the download speed for it. And two,
But it's like cars. It's 20% better.
Yes. Yeah. That's. Oh, so we were talking about that earlier. Let me help the viewers catch up. There are a lot of things in life where when you double the price, it gets like 20% better. The Astro headsets are like that to me. Astro headsets are great. I really like mine. And I don't have a deal with them, by the way. That's what I wear when I play games. But a $30 headset gets you 80% of the way there. And then the next $220 that it takes to go from a $30 headset to an Astro fills that other 20%. Is it better? Yes, undeniably. Is it, what is that, 8 times better? No, it's not 8 times better, and it's up to you to decide whether that extra $220 is worth something that's 20% better. That's where, what are we, back to 4K porn now? Is HD porn, infinitely better than free?
It's better, but
it's striking when you see it. You're like, whoa, this is different.
But when you're competing against free, is it literally 300% better? No.
You wouldn't be able to calculate it, but from free to $30 a month.
I mean, like, what percentage would that be?
There is no percentage.
It's divide by zero. Right?
Yeah, divide by zero. Nothing happened.
Undefined. That's what happens.
An infinitely more expensive proposition. But like I said, it's $10 a month if you do a year subscription, and $30 a month if you go month to month, apparently. But
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, $10 a month for a year
subscription.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. But
So
that's an aggressive
I guess it depends
model,
on what you
isn't it?
like.
Well,
Yes,
the reason it's so aggressive is you can pay that $30 and download everything you want on the site and just cancel it.
I don't know
That's
about
how it works.
I guess you could, but I would never do that. I don't understand downloading porn personally. I just don't. It streams. You stream porn. You don't download porn. Just like that seems as silly to me as buying porn. The only people who should be buying porn are like pedophiles and people who want to see donkeys fuck.
People that still have VHSs are not on a loop.
Don't you think Netflix should step up their porn game? Wouldn't that help their business model?
Look, dude, if Netflix added an adult feature where they basically made it so you had to go online to the website, check a box, and then use a password every time you got into it from your account, that would be huge.
I can see it right now. You go on your PS4, it goes Netflix movies, kids, adult.
Yeah, and that adult section should have like an accountant with a green bill hat doing taxes, and then when you go in it, you see the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like that's totally what it should be like.
I want to see Sasha Grey just taking on some just 12-inch from every direction, really. Just
Being for the man.
A cornucopia.
a cornucopia of cock, if you will.
Yes.
For you holiday aficionados, it would be wonderful.
Yeah, if
Hang on a
Netflix
minute.
added that, do you know how much more they'd get?
They would win the internet.
They would win the internet. They'd have more bandwidth flowing than YouTube would. Like they may already have more bandwidth than YouTube. I don't know.
By the way, Brazzers is valued at right at $100 million. Brazzers.com.
Would you go to that? What is my site?
And that's impressive because this is the day
No,
and
I
age
just
of people.
Googled. And
Oh, okay.
it was one of the articles about the site, I suppose. What did you guys do for Thanksgiving? I guess that'd be a good topic since we just did it.
I am so ungrateful. My mom was like, "Did you have a good Thanksgiving?" It's like, well, I went to my neighbor's house, and all the windows were open, so the inside temperature was pretty much outside temperature. It's too cold. I shivered. We ate dinner on paper plates, buffet style.
That's Thanksgiving for most people, I think.
Is it
To
really?
be honest, yeah, it is because I go. So last year I went with my girlfriend's family, and that's exactly what we did. Almost, it was cold too, and
Wow.
it's eerily reminiscent of last year's. This year, I'm gonna be honest. I had pizza. It was marinara and meatball from Red Baron, and then I played some Call of Duty, and I was thankful that nobody was at my house fucking with me. It was a great time.
I really like being home for Thanksgiving. And neighbor's house is almost home. But like if I have to travel across the country and like just not be in my own domain, that's kind of rough on me. But when I'm home and I basically get waited on all day, like extra, that's awesome.
Woody had to add that in there too, like extra, because
Yeah.
he clicked his head like, wait a minute, Jackie brings me stuff all the time.
She
on
does.
streams.
She does.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So that like, Thanksgiving might be my favorite holiday because all I do is receive.
I think Thanksgiving is one of my least favorite holidays. So Thanksgiving is basically turkey and dressing and pumpkin pie for me. That's the only draw to Thanksgiving because I don't like my relatives. Like I don't like, and I don't like my friends' relatives, and I don't like.
Have you made up with
Anybody
your
ha-
sister yet?
Excuse me.
Have you made up with your sister yet?
My dad has not made up with it because she stole $25,000 from him and all.
Still?
But
No, wait. It used to be 50, right?
It was the count had apparently he said 50, but apparently not all of it. Apparently there was like 15 of it that didn't make it in there. Excuse me, no. Let me take back. No, my mom spent 10 grand of the
This is
50 on a
good.
lawyer. 10 grand went to a lawyer.
Can I help
Another.
you catch up? If you're not, excuse me, if you're not a person that watches every episode of PKA, Kyle's parents about a year ago maybe
Yeah.
separated and contemplated divorce and then decided to get back together. But somewhere in the midst of that, Kyle's sister took all the money and put it in her personal account
Well-
to kind of like protect it.
Sort of. So basically what it was is there was an account that my father had in my sister's name where he was keeping his savings.
Okay.
I don't know why that was the case. I've asked him and he said, I guess because I'm a fucking idiot. That was his reply. So there was about 50 grand in there. And when my mother moved out, my sister went with her. They went and got
And
an
if that's
apartment.
not clear, as the parents separated, the sister chose the mother's side.
Yes. And so this money was in Kelly's name, and Dad was like, "I want my money," and she's like, "No, that's all the money that we have right now." Even though both her and my mother have full-time teacher jobs. So basically, she took this money, 10,000 of it went to a lawyer. Another, I don't know, $5, $6, $7,000 went to things like car payments, insurance, getting a new place to stay in, all that shit. Basically, like 35 of it was left over, and my sister just kept it, like 25, 35 grand, somewhere in there. I don't know the exact, and nobody likes talking about it. She just kept it. And when my mother and my father got back together, my mother moves back in with my father. My sister just stayed in the fucking house with the 20, 30 grand or whatever, and she's still there. So I have only seen her once since all that happened. She called me about a month and a half ago, and said there was a giant squirrel that had ran into her house. So I went over there with a handgun with some rat shot and tried to work out how to kill this squirrel. Didn't see it, and then just left. And
Does
as
that
I'm
wench
in
still
there,
have the flashlight?
yes, that's what I was gonna say. I was about to say this. As I'm in there, I look, and there's my father's like 1 million candle power, 2.5 million candle power spotlight.
So
that
that
he had.
means nothing to me. How much is it worth?
I don't know, $150 maybe, but it's his spotlight.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that she just took. There was no
Right.
reason for her to take this thing.
She knew that it was a special flashlight. It was
It's-
extra good.
Yeah, this isn't like something you hold. This is one of the ones that you like hold a handle, and then if you hold your hand out like in a fist, like you're holding, like you're gonna stab someone. This is where the giant light is above your hand. It's a spotlight. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she stole it basically. I don't know. She's just being a shithead.
It's like taking binoculars or something. Like, why did you take those? Those were his. You knew they were expensive. You have no use for it. You just took something because you knew it was a good something.
Yep. So she's kind of a shithead. So no, I have not made up with her, and I don't plan to. She's not a particularly interesting or funny person anyway. So.
Wow, Kyle's just
wow. Shots
yeah.
fired.
She's not a snappy dresser.
Yeah, I just don't care for her.
One of her teeth is kind of crooked.
No, she's got really nice
the
teeth.
whole face. Oh.
She's just a bitch. She's just a shithead. She was that person who, like growing up, she didn't play video games, but she had a Nintendo 64, and I'd be like, hey, can I borrow that 64? She's like, nope. Well, it's just in your closet, like in a box. Nope. All right, well, fuck you then. And that's just a bitch my whole life. Just not a big fan of her.
See, Woody, I disagree. I'm a big fan of Christmas. I like it.
See, Christmas is it's a great holiday, but it comes with things you have to do, right? Like,
yeah, and they're rough. I mean, shopping as you get older. For some people watching this, as you get older, you're going to have to start buying things for people instead of just getting presents from other people. And it can be difficult if because you can go the easy route and just buy gift cards for people. Say Merry Christmas or donations to the Human Fund. Here you go.
and I think PK's audience is older, that they totally buy presents.
Right.
Yeah.
But as you if you go about it and you try to, for me, it's the trying to get that perfect gift for everybody on the list. Right? You go about all right, what do they like? Not what do they want, but what do they like? What do they need? And what can I get them that's reasonable, that will perfectly encapsulate what they want, and then to see them use it, or see them oh, I totally needed this, or I wanted this, and oh my goodness, on Christmas Day, that's the best part for me, even though I'm probably usually broke afterwards.
Yeah, Christmas is hard. I didn't do Christmas as far as the giving thing until the last few years. I just didn't. It wasn't a thing for me because I guess when I stopped believing in Santa and I got to maybe 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there, Christmas just kind of stopped. You got some stuff, but it wasn't anything crazy. I might get a video game and some socks and some sweaters and maybe a new coat, and that was about it. And I'm not saying that's anything.
You get to the point that you don't want to take the pictures. Just give me my shit. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't want any pictures taken. It's not like it was when you were a kid. I remember waking up as a kid. And Santa Claus must have been up early because he assembled that model railroad train in the living room so it circled the Christmas tree and made laps around my other gifts. Christmas used to be a big deal, but it's just not for me anymore. And but I do want to get a few key people gifts so they don't think I'm a dirtbag. So I'm working on that right now. I'm waiting on Amazon's Black Monday sale. That's going to be big.
Oh. And if you have any qualms with the fact that I like Christmas, even though I'm an atheist, to me, Christmas isn't anymore a religious holiday. It's more of just, I view it as just a way to just, the year's coming to an end, the calendar year, and you're spending a lot of time inside because it's really cold out, and you just, it's a good time, it's a good excuse to spend some money and let's say consolidate gift giving, we'll call it, instead of you devote a lot more of your time to other people in your life and be like, what do you want, what do they want, what can I make work, and trying to bring joy to their faces on that day than it is about celebrating the birth of some fictional guy. So it's not, and I kind of dislike the atheists that are so well, I don't celebrate Christmas. It's why not? Why can't you just be you know what? Yeah, okay. It's a religious holiday to some people.
That do that?
Oh yeah, they're I hate Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. There's nothing to do with it, and they
I hate how Christmas music's played on the radio the entire fucking month.
I used to like
start
Christmas
really
music.
early.
I used to love Christmas music, but the first year I was in Atlanta working at a car dealership, they had satellite radio for the car dealership, and the Christmas music began somewhere around November 10th, and it didn't stop until January 10th. And I mean it, and they only had like, I'm guessing 15 total songs. But when you're working 9-10 hour days every fucking day, I knew those songs by heart. And if I hear one of those 15 songs to this day, I feel a little sick to my stomach, and it gets turned off quick.
Makes you feel like you're at work.
Not a little bit, though. I did enjoy that job a lot. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Christmas music at all. The only Christmas song I like is the one we joked about last week. The one that, like, a few of my favorite things or whatever. I like that one.
You don't like Alan Jackson's greatest Christmas hits?
No, I don't really care for Alan Jackson too much.
I don't know. How about we talk about the Xbox One?
All right, you've been dying to get to it. So
I want to bitch about it.
The Xbox One, by the way, is the console that I am closest to opening.
Mm-hmm.
Can I show? Do people want to see this?
Show it.
All
Let's
right,
open it.
Maybe PKA by PKA will do Road to an Open Box. Forgive the mess behind here. I just got a new monitor. God, I'm embarrassed. But here, I'll show you.
Yeah, that room's in shambles.
So wait, is he wearing a dress shirt and shorts?
Yes, he is.
What?
Woody loves those shorts. Like I've traveled all over the country with Woody. He breaks out those shorts a lot. Not those in particular, but Woody likes his shorts. He likes to show his calves.
It is different looking.
The shipping box is open, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is your box different?
I don't know. That's as far as I've got so far in opening.
Why is your Xbox One box different looking though?
How is it different?
Let me give you mine.
So did either of you guys take part in any sort of a Black Friday sale, or know anyone who did?
I took part. I had one on WoodyCraft.net. It's still running.
25% off everything, right?
25% off anything. Hoppers.
Biggest sale on
spawners,
Minecraft.
Ranks, etc.
Wow.
It's the best. Oh, wow.
Is yours a day one edition?
No.
Maybe that's the difference.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, Lefty Link. I guess we should go through Wings talking about the Xbox, and then we'll talk about the Black Friday thing. I didn't think he'd return so quickly.
We could go through both of them because I have a story for both.
Tell us.
Segue.
Let's get your opinions on the Xbox One, because I don't know about Lefty if he's played it at all, but you've definitely played it more than Woody or I, I've played it 0 times. I think Woody might have played it at an event.
More than one event, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So people know I have the same games on both consoles. I have Assassin's Creed on PS3, 4 as well, and I've played on both consoles. And
This is pretty good, actually. There's not a lot of people in your spot who have as much. Most people in the world chose a console. You have experience in both. Carry on.
All right. It's hard to put the positives. Let's go with the positives first, so it don't seem like I'm bashing it. I like Snap App. The Snap App is really cool. There's been times I'd like to watch Futurama at the same time do something monotonous, like level grind in a game, and I can see that being useful, so I can watch Futurama over here while I'm sitting there doing something monotonous in the game over here, and I think that's a good thing. Before that, I love Snapchat. I love how you can have more than 100 friends, but that's on both consoles. That's pretty much where my love for Xbox One ends.
A lot of people like the Kinect. Have you given it a chance yet? And not even just for gameplay.
It doesn't work that well. Like, for example, on and off works flawlessly. For example, if I go Xbox on, yeah, it's turning on right now. But like just navigating, like I go Xbox game, it won't do it. Or I'll say Xbox music, and it'll load up Netflix app or something like that. I mean, it just seems like it does stuff randomly.
Okay. Online, they seem to think it's very good, and Joe Lozon seems to think it's very good. So,
yeah, Joe told me the graphics were just much better.
They're much better than
the 360,
like a standard 360 game.
Well, that's the comparison that you have.
Yeah.
Well, Wings is comparing the current, the same gen.
The PS4 is much better graphics. It's not like night and day. I'm gonna go with the scenario. It's 20% better.
Okay.
Like, for example, in Battlefield 4, this is a good example. Battlefield 4, you have these big, massive 64-man servers. In the PS4 version, you have better fire effects on stuff like C4 and thermite charges, whereas the Xbox One version doesn't have them at all. Like, they just don't have the effects itself. Another scenario after playing like Call of Duty Ghost, there's a level in Ghost where you're climbing a skyscraper to find information about a character, and when the skyscraper blows up, there's more debris in the PS4 version than there is in the Xbox One. I don't like that, but my major qualm with the Xbox One as itself is it takes over an hour to install video games. And like you can play while they're installed, but they have to be at 50%.
Is it possible you'll care a lot less about that once you're even just a couple weeks more into the console's life cycle? Like
it is possible. Like I'm not saying this is a bad purchase.
Because right now you're ramping up on games. I'm sorry to cut you off. Right now you're ramping up on games, so the install time's a big deal. But like if I were to review, I don't know, different video editing software, I wouldn't pay any attention to how well it installed, right? Because that happens one time and then it's installed.
Well, I'm looking at it like this, but you install video editing software one time, but how many games do you buy a year? 5, 6?
I think I'm a little higher than that, but I think
I'm a lot higher than that.
Yeah, but I think normal people, or 3 to 7 is like a regular range.
Yeah, and like this, imagine you're excited. You get home. Imagine you're a 14-year-old boy, Woody. You just got oh shit, Call of Duty Ghost. You're ready to play it right now. You get the game. All you want to do is go home and pop it in your Xbox, and now you got an hour wait. Versus the PS4 version, which you wait 5 minutes and you can start playing it streaming, and it's in perfect quality. Whereas this one's sub Xbox 360 quality if you go before 100%. Like it literally loses texture packets.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're right. And I guess, anyone watching can decide how important it is, like install time is to them, not us.
Wings, how's the digital purchasing and downloading and stuff on the Xbox One? Are they?
I haven't purchased anything digitally on it yet, so I can't really say that. But I know on the PS4 it's flawless. I mean, it prioritizes really well. Like for example, I was playing Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer, holding a 4KD while downloading and installing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like you can do it seamlessly. I'm sounding like a PS4 fanboy, but I'm going in this with like a mindset of being unbiased because, for those who don't know,
we all know PC.
I was on the Xbox side on the last system.
For what it's worth, you don't sound like a fanboy to me. You sound like someone who's tried both systems. That I get. There are people who will fuss. I've seen that up close.
Like for the most part, I was going to go Xbox 360, and like on the spur of the moment, I decided to buy the PS4 when it came out.
You meant Xbox One? You were
Xbox One. That was the one I was going to buy strictly because I like my gamer scores on there, and most of the people I enjoyed playing with was on there. But I have different qualms. Like most of my friends on Xbox haven't got the Xbox One yet, which that's a problem that's going to settle itself out because they're kind of like behind on shipping right now. They're just not enough to go around.
Most of the interesting electronic devices in my life do more than one thing, right? Like what's so amazing about my phone, it's a Galaxy S4, but I think all these smartphones are of the same level. What's so amazing about them is that they have a GPS, a phone, a web browser, I don't know, computers built in their camera. Yeah, shucks, how'd I leave that out? Microphone, like all this amazing stuff packed into one device. That's what makes it so cool. What's so like one of the things that when I buy a truck, it's 2 years out, I talk about it all the time, but when I buy a truck, one of the things I'll be looking for is like the electronics, right? Who's leading edge at the time? Chevy, Ford, whatever, on the electronics package that you can get in that truck, because that's a big deal to me. It's something I want next time. I want to start my truck with my phone, right? I totally want that. So it warms up and then we head out there and it's nice. That to me seems like a really luxury next gen truck type thing. What makes electronic devices incredible is not how well they single task. Outside of your gaming console, how many things in your life are single tasking that you like now, electronics wise? To me, jack of all trades is what makes them great. And the Xbox has had more of a focus on that. Maybe I'm fanboying. I'm not sure. Maybe you want your single purpose gaming machine to be a single purpose gaming machine. But I don't know. I'll see. Maybe when I've tried both, when I have a Wings level of experience on it, I'll like the PS4 too. We'll see.
I don't know. The PS4 just looks better and it's faster. As of right now, there could be. This is 2 weeks out on PS4, 1 week out on Xbox. As of right now, I find the Xbox One menu is very clunky. It's hard to navigate. It's not very appealing to the eye. They have some cool features. They have cool implications. They have cool like multitasking things. But they have stuff like a standard person wouldn't even use. Well, a standard gamer. I'm not really sure what a casual person would use. Like it has 2 HDMI ports and input and an output, like for hooking up cable boxes. I don't even have cable.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch Netflix on your Xbox much?
I used to do it on my computer, and I have a PS3 hooked up in my room I sleep in. I just watch it on that.
Yeah, I was just thinking out like, with the is it called Snap2 or Snap App? What is it?
Snap App.
Snap App. With Snap App, maybe suddenly that gives the Netflix client a leg up versus something else.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spend almost $600 for a Netflix dedicated thing.
Oh, right. I'm not just comparing the two. Really, what you're spending is an extra $100. You have to figure out if that's worth it.
Yeah. Because like my Xbox One's pretty much going to stay in here, and I'm going to use this. Like the Xbox 360 most likely would go into another room and become a dedicated Netflix player.
I was just thinking out loud, like for someone who's trying to pick between them, like if you use your gaming console for two things, games and Netflix, right? Because that describes me. Maybe that makes the one better for that. I'm not sure.
Well, I would talk about audio quality, but the Xbox One is failing right now with being able to talk to people.
Unforgivable. I think I've taken the role accidentally as Xbox One apologist in this conversation. Not on your audio, man. Not on your audio. Why you thought that stereo and all right, so people don't know. The optical port on the back, the optical audio port, it's often called Toslink, I think. It has two modes, stereo, which sucks, right? Welcome to the 60s or something. And DTS, which is awesome. Welcome to, 7.1 surround sound gloriousness. But what it doesn't have is Dolby. And Dolby Digital is what is widely used on all these gaming headsets. So somehow Xbox shipped with DTS and stereo, but not the one that I think is most commonly used on a gaming button, Dolby Digital. So they say they're going to patch it. It's not patched now as we make this. It's November 30th. It's not patched right now. But dude, so if you have Astros for $250, they will function just like Turtle Beaches at $30.
Mm-hmm. Here's something else cool about the PlayStation 4. You plug your Astros into the bottom of the controller. The controller itself acts as a 5.1 Dolby mix amp.
Yeah, you don't even need your mix amp. You just plug your headset and that little, 3.5 millimeter or something?
Do you miss the mix amp? I've never used my Astros without the mix amp.
I use the mix amp still, but I'm just saying for somebody that has just like a regular 3.5 millimeter headset from like Radio Shack, they can use that to just sound whore on Call of Duty with if they really were on a budget.
There's a reason Microsoft used that stupid proprietary connector. Does anyone remember what their thing was?
More money? You have to buy it from them?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Or they wanted to control like
the accessories.
Like who made not necessarily who had access, but like how they worked.
I think there was another reason too that was probably a big part of it. So if people don't know, one theory is they wanted to control the gaming peripheral market. And I think the other was they wanted to be able to power the devices that slip in there. Does that sound right? Mm-hmm. I forget. There was some functional excuse they gave, but
what kind of? It was like a 2.5 millimeter or something, wasn't it?
The 2.5 is okay. I think it's like a square thing. It looks almost USB-y. Wings, you probably have one in your hand. Can you show us? I'll put you on the big screen. Yeah, it looks kind of like the micro USB. It's not though. It's unique to Microsoft.
Yeah, it's really unique looking. Another thing I'm wondering about Xbox, why are they still doing this? I don't know if you can see it. There's a battery here. Mm-hmm. Like when you buy the console, you get 2 Duracell batteries, mm-hmm. and you have to pay another like $30 to get a charge and play. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you still doing this? Why don't you just do what Sony does and just send it with an internal battery with a charge cable with the system?
I don't know. I mean, again, here I am in my role of Xbox apologist, but the Xbox controller lasts a lot longer in terms of battery life. And those rechargeable batteries, like most of the rechargeable batteries in my life, suck after a year. Having said that, there's an exception, and it's the Sony controller. My PS3 controllers seem to be good forever, like for the lifetime, right? Like, Wings, do you find your PS3 controllers to like wear out
My
faster?
PS3 controller is like 9-10 hours of playtime, and then they take 10-15 minutes to charge to full.
Yeah, I think your numbers are a little optimistic, but there's something in there, right? Like you play for a long time. And by the way, I forget how old my PS3 is. I'll call it 2 years old. It might be older. 2.5-year-old controller, the battery works like it's new. Like it hasn't really worn out. Whereas
that's another cool thing with the PS4. I don't know. I haven't played with the Xbox enough, but there's a standby mode that will charge your controller and update all the game patches for you while it's off. Like say Battlefield sends a big ass Battlefield patch out. I don't know if people play Battlefield. They're notorious for colossal patches that are like 1.9 gigs or something.
They'll just do it, and you'll come
They'll
back.
do it while you're sleeping.
I think the Xbox does. The Xbox do that too? God, I don't
I
want to
don't
get my
know. I
facts
don't know.
wrong. I could have sworn it did, but I'm not positive on that. I don't know. I mean, you're actually kind of convincing me that the PS4 is better.
Yeah,
Does it sound like that to you too, Kyle?
Yeah, I was kind of convinced of that when he brought it to my house and he started playing it, and I picked up the controller. It feels good. It looks
really
good. It does everything.
The PS4 controller does feel better than the Xbox One.
I can play so on PlayStation 3. I feel like I'm handicapped. Something about when I'm holding the controller and I'm operating my Call of Duty character, I'm like, this is not as accurate and as smooth as I would be on an Xbox controller. I'm having to think too much about my movements. But using the PS4 controller, the thumbsticks are different. They're not offset like on the 360. But besides that, I'm basically sold. It's perfect.
Maybe I need more time on the PS4 controller. I still feel tight. Because the sticks are at the bottom of the controller and the handles are at the bottom of the controller, almost everything you do is like people hold the two controllers next to each other and say, look, the PS4 is the same size as the Xbox. But I say, look again, the Xbox uses the whole controller, and the PS4, everything happens in the lower half. And that's, I still feel cramped.
The PS4 controller is actually a little bigger than the Xbox controller now.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it wider so your thumbs don't hit together no more. And like they use the back triggers now instead of the things.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It used to be that, especially with Call of Duty, transitioning from one to the other, if that COD didn't support some sort of switcheroo option, then you were stuck using.
And even
with the triggers
switcheroo option, it was like you were using. It never felt right. Like even if you switched it, like now the bottom one shoots. What are you complaining about? Well, it just seems like the bottom one wasn't
bottom one
meant
was
to
designed
shoot.
for like Gran Turismo. That's what the bottom one was designed for, like a gas pedal.
Yeah. It didn't seem like a proper shooter controller on the PS3, but the PS4 that's fixed.
Yep.
I do like the new triggers on the Xbox One though. They are much better.
Are they?
Maybe, but
I doubt they're better than my Scuff controller.
yeah, that's where I was headed too. Scuff controller has it figured out. I love Scuff controllers. They're great. That's one of the reasons maybe they're still in the box, because I have to switch to stock controllers. Scuff controllers are all. If you plan on sticking with your 360 or PS3, buy a Scuff. If you're not upgrading this Christmas, get the Scuff.
I wonder if they're going to. How long it's going to take them before they've got Xbox One Scuffs?
There's places I think that already do.
Yeah, but I want a Scuff.
Right,
Yeah.
I know.
I know it's in development. I was talking to Duncan. Duncan's the guy that owns Scuff, or one of the owners, and I can't share everything, but basically he's like, look, we are a boutique controller. We are a high quality controller, and we can't rush this. The first model that we produce has to be excellent. It has to be the best one we've ever made, or people will, not like what they're getting. So
yeah.
So he's not rushing anything out the door. He's getting it right, and that's why it didn't come out with the day one consoles.
I don't know. PS4 also has this nice little grip on the back of it.
Could you show me which part is the grip?
If you look, I don't know how. If you look right, you can see it better right there on the bottom. You see how the grip starts and the controller ends. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks really phallic.
It feels really good.
Well, yeah, they tend to do that.
It should.
So
it's
Wings,
not like the scuffs. Like the scuffs, you can almost scratch off, and they come off under your fingernails.
That's not true, actually. You might be dealing with an old version of it.
I have scuffs here. I can show you it. It'll
Yeah,
scratch
I
off.
have a current scuff, and that shit is military grade.
Yeah, my stuff is.
The one I was promised was military grade, and it comes off under my fingernails.
Yeah, Wings, I'm telling you, I mean, I've got mine here. It's not coming off. I think maybe you don't have the most recent scuff.
I don't have. I have one of the second generation, most likely.
Yeah, if you get one now, that stuff's not. I mean, it's not coming
It's
off.
good. It's a different coat. They've used a few different coatings, I think, different texture creating coatings on the back of the controller. The one I have right now feels really good, and it doesn't get. It's sort of anti-sweaty almost. It seems like.
Yeah, he told me about the process they used to make it, and he also told me not to tell anyone how they do it, but that it's not coming off. It's so not coming off. So all I can tell you is they changed the process along the way to a manufacturing thing that they've got it solved.
Yeah, I really, I don't, I'm not making anything off scuff controllers. I don't have a coupon code. I love mine. I wouldn't use anything other than mine. It's second only to my Astros, I think. I wouldn't want to. I don't like playing without it.
Right? Like Treyarch games especially, the sound whoring is so bad and so nerfed that I think a scuff helps you a lot more than a headset.
Sound whoring is great in Ghosts.
Yeah, because the sound whoring works in Ghost, then the decision's not
a
as
monster.
clear.
Sound whoring, to me, without sound whoring, is a 1.5 KD difference. 1.5.
Yeah, it's big. It's knowing when there's an enemy kind of running parallel to you, but there's some bushes between you. And you're the guy who stops, pulls his sights up, and waits for him to clear those bushes, and you kill him.
And I'll
rather
say
than
this:
bumping into him.
all of these tools have a learning curve, right? Like the scuff with the buttons on the back that help you like knife while still aiming, or jump, and you can jump and go flat around a corner and present that guy with a small target as you fly like Superman in the air, like dolphin dive sideways and shoot that guy and do that sort of thing. The scuff lets you do that, but it doesn't. Like, you also have to learn to do that. And the same is true with a headset, man. Like, when I got my headset, this is years ago now, I thought I was instantly going to have bat-like echolocation ability. I thought that I was going to... I'm trying to put myself on the screen. I thought that I was going to be able to know where everyone came from, and it was going to be like a non-stop UAV. It totally wasn't that for me. It took me weeks, maybe over a month, before my sound whoring got good. And it did get good. I feel like I'm good at sound whoring now. Lots of people are. But when you buy a headset, you don't instantly know how to sound whore. You start learning the map again. That's a thing. Like, if you play on TV with just TV speakers, you might not really notice, like, oh, when you're in this section of the map, there's a wooden floor here and a metal floor here. And if you hear that tink, 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 that distinctive walk on metal sound... If you're not sound whoring, you don't learn that. It's not until you sound whore that you're like, all right, this is what this spot sounds like. This is what this spot sounds like. And this is what that other spot sounds like. When you have a headset, it gives you the ability to learn to sound whore, but it doesn't make you sound whore until you learn it.
So none of us went out and braved the Black Friday stuff, did we? Like, actually went to a store?
I got my Xbox One in Black Friday.
Oh, that's right, you did. You went
Was it
early
on
and got a
sale?
wristband, though, right?
Yeah.
How much
So what
did
was
you
that
save?
experience like?
I didn't save anything. The Black Friday sale was they were there for retail price.
They're like, it's Black
we
Friday,
have
and
some.
we have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the deal. Like these things are going for like $1,200 on Amazon right now from their warehouse.
What?
Wow.
I saw that Lefty linked this. That lady got, or that person got trampled to death.
That was Wings. That was not
Oh,
me.
was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, Wings linked this to that person being trampled to
Wow.
death.
I was
Uh,
scared. Can I
Long
tell
Island.
my story?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I went to Black Friday. I went to Black Friday not thinking I was going to get one. I went to about, I think it was like 4 o'clock. And I called ahead. I called in advance. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing Black Friday? And like, oh, we're handing out wristbands. We'll start at 4:30. I'm like, oh, sweet. I got
Is this
information other people are
AM?
unprevious to.
Is this AM?
What?
You said 4
No,
o'clock.
This is on Thanksgiving Day. Because
Okay.
they started at 6
So
p.m.
PM.
that night.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I got information some people not about to be privy to. So I get up there at 4:30 exactly, and I get a wristband for the Xbox One. And I look on the wristband, it says 4 of 10. I'm like, oh, some people are going to be upset tonight. And needless to say, I come back at about 6:30 at time, and there's a line of like 350 people, and they're all cashing in cards. And I walk up and skip the 350-person line and buy the last Xbox One that they had left in the store.
Mm.
No,
While everybody else is down there, get one sent to their house before Christmas.
if you had been later, would you have not got it, or was yours set aside?
No,
for
mine
you?
was set aside. You had a wristband, you had a product.
I see. So everyone else who had theirs set aside had gotten theirs already.
Yeah.
And they're all they're ordering theirs for delivery, and you walk up and you get one in person,
Yeah.
like a boss.
And I got confronted by a couple gentlemen because I couldn't leave the store right then, so I had to stay in the store another half hour with an Xbox One in a Walmart bag, because my mother was buying one of those 32-inch TVs, and for $100. So I had to wait on her because she had to go through line and pay for it, because they made me pay for the Xbox One as soon as I picked it up.
32-inch. Tell Mom to step up her game. Was she like Michael Scott?
It was a Christmas gift. It
All right.
It's $100.
was $100 for a
Pretty good.
32-inch TV.
It's a good deal.
So I got confronted by like three or four different minority groups talking about my Xbox One. So I kind of slowly moved my Xbox One to the front near the guys checking things.
Which minorities were represented, Wing?
dear.
Black, Mexican, and white.
Wait.
Okay,
never mind.
It gets you uneasy when you got like 3 or 4 black guys, talking to you on Black Friday.
Yeah, because how dare black guys try to talk to you, right?
You have a
Bastards.
$600 bullseye on you.
And I was like, white guy's a minority? Well, it is
Wings, did they
Walmart.
make eye contact with you?
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
like, Xbox One,
none of that.
Getting all uppity?
I don't know if you know, Conway is a majority black city. I mean, like,
That's
we're
why
probably-
whites were listed as a
We're
minority.
like 60-40 here.
I
I
didn't
mean-
know that, but yeah, carry on.
But generally the black people live in town and the white people live on the outskirts for the most part. And I don't know, it just got me creeped out because they were like that thug kind of people just with that thug mentality, pants sagging, do rags.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a $600 bullseye on me, and not to mention I had like 350 upset soccer moms.
600?
It was $548 after taxes.
Okay. I
So
forgot.
what were they saying? Were they threatening you, or were they just asking?
No, they weren't threatening. They were like, I wish I had an Xbox One.
And so this made you uncomfortable.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I guess.
So what do we
I was
think
upset
about
at my mother by the end of the night because I'm like, why the fuck didn't you throw that TV down? Let's go. I will buy
Black
you a
dudes were
32-inch
asking me
TV.
questions. Do you understand the gravity of this situation? We need to go. They wanted to know things.
So Wings linked us to this thing about this person in Long Island, this Walmart employee, I believe, getting trampled to death by a crowd of 200
Opening the doors.
Walmart employees. They opened the doors, cracked the doors open at 5:30 a.m. 200 people bum rush in, according to this article, rip the doors off the hinges, and other employees could only look on in horror as this person was trampled
I don't
to
think
death.
anyone died this year. I
That was
haven't
this person.
Yeah, there's the it's.
I think that's from 2008. I looked at the
Oh
article.
well, shit, Wings. Why are you giving me this 2008 bullshit?
Yeah. Well,
Regardless, it's fun. Okay, that's 2008, but it's still ridiculous. There were a lot of. I
yeah,
saw
it's
a lot of
ridiculous
fights.
how many people go out there.
But I
They're
was-
they're like sheep.
I was live streaming on Thanksgiving, and one of my friends was like, it's kind of spooky right now, knowing that someone's going to die tomorrow. And I'm like, well, yeah, someone's going to die every day. And he's like, no, but every year somebody gets trampled to death because of Black Friday. It will happen tomorrow. I don't know if it did. It didn't make the
I don't
news.
think so.
But
There are plenty of fights, though.
no one got
Yes,
trampled to death on WoodyCraft.net, by the way. It was all virtual.
Never has happened. not
Never
once.
happened. It's a very safe environment.
I've
Kraken
heard
might
Kraken
eat you,
fucks some
but-
people up.
All our deaths were in-game.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Black Friday thing. First of all, let me say this: if you're coming to one of these Black Friday sales, one of these 5:30 a.m. things that's like everybody's gonna bum rush through a door, your ass should not be anywhere near the front of that line. if you're not in good shape.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is an This is an athletic sale, right? You know,
Yes.
I don't even care if you're in good shape. Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't hold a crowd back.
No, that's not what I'm getting at.
Arnold Schwarzenegger will win sale. However that game is played,
seen
he
it
wins
happen.
on it.
I've watched these videos of how it goes down, how people get trampled. I'm telling you right now, I would never get trampled in one of those crowds. First of all, you're not going to be able to get me off my feet. I'm not going to hit the ground. I'm not. I'm quick. I'm agile. I've got decent balance. I'm not going to hit the ground. And if I do, my ass is popping back up because I know that we're about to recreate that scene from The Lion King where Mufasa died. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. But I see like women and like older. I'll tell you exactly what I see.
Do you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
You know that show, right?
Very well.
What's the guy's name who tries to bulk up?
I want to know which one's
Hold
the
on, Wings. Give me a second here. What's the
what
guy's
is his name?
Is it Cat? Is it? There's Charles. Help me here.
It's not Charlie.
It's not Charlie. Oh man, I'm ruining my flow.
Do you know why he got fat on the show?
No.
Because he thought it would be funny.
He was right.
It's Mac. It's Mac.
Mac, right? So me on Black Friday, I picture myself as Mac, right? You know, like doing the whole kung fu thing that he's got going on. That's how I do it. Like just busting out like that guy cracks me up. I don't know if this reference is working for everyone, but
if you're a 50-year-old African American grandma with arthritis, you got no business being anywhere near the front of that line. And if you get trampled, frankly, what'd you think was going to happen? Do you see these people in the crowd outside? Like there's such a heightened sense of like craziness going on. Everybody's they know. All right, they're outside of Best Buy or whatever, and they know there's only going to be 300 of these Blu-ray players, and the crowd is 600 or 700 strong, whatever the numbers are, and it's a fight to get in there and grab this thing, and tempers are going to fly. So if you're not at least, I don't know how to describe the physical fitness level you need to be at the front of one of these lines. But it's definitely not anyone who's,
if you
not able to jog. Yeah, there you go.
Mile and bench press 100 pounds 5-6 times, you got to move back.
Absolutely, that's good. I like that. 9-minute mile is a light jog, and if you bench press 100 a few times, you're basically a moderately strong woman.
Yeah, you're prepared to play Black Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. These people who get trampled are almost always elderly or women or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be sexist, but if you're a petite woman, you shouldn't be there. I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to be a woman there if I wasn't, moderately athletic. You will get stomped to death by people who want to save money on toasters.
To me, one of the biggest downsides of being a woman, I would presume, is that almost the entire male population can beat you up. Right? That's just a thing.
Well,
Wings told me this. Wings, we were talking about Wings' fitness level when he was here. He's like, let's face it, Kyle. I can beat up most women at this point. And I was like, yeah, you got that. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's locked that in.
Who can't you beat up, Wings?
I probably can beat up like farm hands and like
Ronda
trained
Rousey,
UFC
UFC fighter, yeah.
Yeah, most baseball players are professional athletes. I mean, I could beat up women.
Grocery store clerks, the guy at the post office.
The Geek Squad at Best Buy. I'm going to go that far.
The flag lady on the construction jobs.
I could beat her up, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about abolishing this Black Friday thing and not doing it anymore. The real problem is the stupid people who get trampled because nobody who's in there, who's, a 20, 30-year-old man goes in there and gets trampled to death. I don't think. But, I saw like a 45-year-old guy who looked, like just a regular American dad type, maybe 225 pounds, and he had gotten trampled, and he just got up, walked over to customer service, and was leaning on the desk. He was hurt pretty bad, but, he went and got his electronics.
Probably had a couple broken ribs and...
He looked like he was in real pain. He was like mouth agape, like breathing heavy and just going, oh. But when the crowd finally caught up and made it through that rat maze and they were catching up on him, he got his shit together and went and got that toaster.
It's always
I want to say I can beat up most guys my size right now.
Depends on why they're your size.
It does.
Like
I'm not
Brock
talking about
Lesnar's your
400 pounds of
size.
muscle. I'm talking about 400 pounds of fat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's too much of a reach to say you could beat up other guys that are your size, because you can run. You ran in that video. You can do stuff that most 400-pound guys can't.
How's it going, Wings? So you're home and you're on your own. I think people are wondering.
Workout wise is going mainly just walks. As Thanksgiving comes, so I've had a couple bad days, like eating wise, calorie wise.
I appreciate the honesty.
And I've actually, I don't know if it's just sodium, but I went from like 404 to like 406 and 7. Depends on what day I weigh.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to maintain right now until the Indiegogo goes through and I can start with the personal trainer. And I'm just trying to stay away from things like fast food and things like that, because fast food is what scares me. So I know as soon as I have McDonald's, it's back in my system, and McDonald's is naturally known to be addictive.
As you were saying, like, hey, you're just trying to maintain it. Like, no. Keep the habit. Keep the good habit, right? You keep the habit that dropped 38 pounds? How many?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I just keep the habit. Yeah, you had a cheat day. It's Thanksgiving, right? We'll let that go. You have another one on Christmas, but just not every.
I'm just trying to keep my calories in control until I can get the workout back full swing. And I got a cool video coming out tomorrow about my weight. Actually, I can go ahead and talk about it since I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, pimp it.
I am going to buy a 45-pound weight because all in all, I've lost about 45 pounds. And I'm going to get an A-frame ladder, and I'm going to drop 45 pounds on different household items and to show you what 45 pounds can do destructive-wise. This is what I took off my body.
I'd like to see what 45 pounds worth of butter looks like.
It's expensive.
Because I think like something that's like 100% saturated fat to like show how much substance you lost. Like how many gallons of fat did you lose?
I wonder what 45 pounds worth of butter looks like.
There's only one way to find out.
Now, I don't know. I figured that'd be pretty cool to actually show what 45 pounds looks like weight-wise. This is what's come off my body.
I'm thinking you open the stick, you put it in like a kitchen blender, the kind that has a bowl that spins.
Yeah.
Not the kind you hold. And then
like a cake thing.
A cake, or I think of them as for mashed potatoes. But yeah, and then dump it out more until you have 45 pounds worth of butter. I bet that's a serious piece of butter right there.
Right now I'm looking for like a picture of like a bag of fat that they sucked out with liposuction so we get the real deal.
We don't want none of this butter pictures in here. I want.
But what I found was all these before and afters of liposuction, and I had no idea that it was this effective.
Link.
I just Google image searched liposuction. I'm just looking at like a bunch of images. Like there's a lot of women's asses and like tummies and stuff like that, and this is actually quite effective. I don't know if it's any good when you're going from like 100 pounds overweight to something else, but
I think they only could take out 20 pounds at a time. The last time I checked.
This
first pictures. Some of these people are pretty hot before.
Yeah, right. Like that's what I was getting at. Like it seems like liposuction is really good if you're like an 8 and you want to get to or maybe not an 8. If you're like a 6 and you want to get to an 8.
This woman with the blue bikini bottom.
Yeah.
She has body image issues.
I think the first picture is. Yeah, you're right.
She might be hotter before, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I really like the fat chick. No. I'm not kind like that. That's not me. But here, I'll show you the picture.
By the way, for anybody, do not Google image search liposuction at work.
There is naked breasts on it.
There's a lot of naked going on.
Oh, wait. This naked here. Ah, shucks. I did not see the naked. I might have shown a bit of it.
Uh-oh.
This is medical. Just let it go. Oh, wow. I totally showed some.
Oh, you showed those titties, didn't you?
No.
Those are medical titties.
They're medical titties.
Those are medical titties.
Let it go. Accidents
Did anybody
happen.
see that dong with the black oval blacking it out? That's funny.
No, I think I showed a woman's bottom. Pretty much. No, the front bottom is what I'm saying.
Oh,
She's got pubes.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
the one
that.
where you can just see them a little bit through it?
Oh, there's a one where there's a girl from behind and it's like a black. I thought it was like a bikini bottom. It's just a black triangle over her ass.
Yep.
No, do you see the one where she has like a white top in one image and a blue top in the other?
Yes.
Yes.
I accidentally, I think, showed that. I'm not even sure. I can't tell what I showed. Whatever. Just leave me alone, censors.
Oh my God! So I actually Googled liposuctioned fat. That is a different group of photos. I haven't seen any that have any nudity in it. If you want to share, but there's like basically big jars and vessels and bags of liquid melted fat.
I have heard that the recovery from liposuction is dreadful.
Yeah, but I'll say this: I heard that about breast implants too. But I know somebody who got breast implants the other day, and it's been like 3 weeks, and she's good.
Yeah, but and I think lipo is another thing. Like 3 weeks in, and you're okay, but it is a rough 3 weeks. You are beat up.
I see a picture here that has like scarring and lumpiness and bruising and deformity going on. Like they have those words superimposed over the photo. So I guess there are negative side effects. I think when you're getting cosmetic surgery like that, I think that's when you go and you get like the Matlock of cosmetic surgeons. Like you do not want to find like a bargain there. Like the girl I know who got breast implants, I was like, how much were there? She's like 8,000.
If you're watching this and I did show what I'm afraid I showed, let it go. There's a million of these things like surgery YouTube videos out there. It's a medical thing.
It's okay to put medical stuff on there. Like there's tons of like crazy full nudity videos on YouTube because it's medical. You can watch babies being born.
You can watch babies being born. That's a good example, and it's not even tagged as anything. And we talk about it in the medical sense. That's what we're totally talking about. And if I re-render this video, it's going to be that thing where the words in the mouth totally don't match up all video long. And
yep.
Oh.
That's why I'm not Xing it out. If I
I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's all medical stuff. Nobody will mind.
All right. It's all medical. No one will mind. You heard it.
Yeah, totally. Kyle said so.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, fuck you, YouTube. Kyle said so.
Try using that one in your day-to-day life sometime. Kyle said so. Oh, really? That guy?
Maybe it'll work at the house. You know?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Colin, quiet down. Kyle said so.
That might work. I like Colin.
Colin's really cool.
When I went and visited Woody, I was worried about how Colin and I would get along, but we got along really well. I liked Colin a lot.
Colin liked you too. He calls him uncle. We didn't coach him or anything. Starts calling him uncle.
So Colin just naturally assumes men visiting the house is his uncle.
No, he's never done it with anybody else.
Yeah, he's like me, you know. I was hanging out with him. At first, I was, I don't hang around kids a lot. I was afraid I was going to break him. But then I see how resilient this little guy is. He falls down, he pops right back up, and next thing I know, I got him like over my shoulders, spinning him in the air, and like putting him in headlock.
Slamming him on the couch.
Yeah, basically, he likes to fight.
That way.
Yeah,
he does like to fight.
Yeah, you gotta be on your toes.
I like to beat them up because they love it.
Colin will walk up to
that's
you
a quote.
and right cross.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Colin will clock you if you're not careful. He'll start throwing.
We play rough here.
And then you've got that. What's that spooner thing called? That thing you get on?
There's a spooner and there's another one like a balance board. I think it might be called bamboo or something. I forget.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, he's like I'm watching Colin on that spooner thing and on that balance board in particular. And the balance board is like a skateboard, but on the bottom it's only got like one. I can't describe like a rolling pin type wheel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you've got to like it's really difficult. I could stand on it for maybe 5 seconds at a time, like
I could
without
show
moving.
people.
You can do it really well. You should.
All right. Let's take 30 seconds. I'll be back.
Yeah, and I wanted to get one of these things, the thing he's going to get right now, and I guess you can get them online, but I have some sort of mental block with online ordering. I always get like halfway through it and it never happens, and I'm just like, I don't want to get my credit card. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'll go watch YouTube or something. So since they don't sell these things at Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods or anything, I don't have one, but I want one. They're really cool. And Colin can operate this thing like some sort of a progeny. Not prodigy. Not as full of wings. Prodigy.
Well, no, but he is progeny though.
He is. He's Woody's progeny, but
Right.
he rides that thing like a prodigy.
There you go. Woody doesn't have my hair beat. I just want to put that out there.
Shots fired.
Oh, I didn't. I missed. Am I interrupting? I just got back.
No.
No,
So
would
this
not.
thing, it's called a bongo, and it has a little roller under it like this, and it's just a fixture in our living room most of the time. When people watch TV or something, they stand on it. It takes a little practice, but I'll show you.
almost laugh so hard if he like falls and takes the door with him.
He's pretty good on this thing.
What if he falls on his Xbox and PS4 back there? Crushes them.
he breaks his YouTube award.
Yeah, the YouTube award goes flying. He's in the hall.
That's the other thing I don't. You were saying that you were making fun of me because I didn't have that drawing my girlfriend did on the wall. I don't have my YouTube award on the wall either. But that thing's like 40 pounds.
Oh wow, okay.
So like I said, Woody's really good at it, and and I don't want to take anything away from how good he is at it. Like he's no professional by any means. He's not an acrobat, but I can't do what he's doing at all.
No. What I wonder what that is. That's got to be core muscles, right? Like that teaches you to isolate and...
to me it felt like really lower abdominal muscles. And like the first time you get on it, you immediately fall off. Like it's not easy.
After the platinum wet slip and slide, that might be the second most athletic thing we've done here on Painkiller already.
No, you did those sit-ups.
Yeah, you did the sit-ups.
Was that third then? Maybe?
And Rock On did those one-handed push-ups.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
That may be the most athletic.
Yeah,
thing.
I think he wins.
Dude, he can crank. All right, now, so here's my feeling about one-handed push-ups, because I've never been able to do them, and I don't know why. I guess I'm just not fucking strong enough, but it feels like my shoulder's gonna rip out doing those. I can't do them. I think he weighs less, and he's just a really fit guy. He can do those things. What do you crank out, like 10 of them?
I don't know. It was.
He
terrible.
did it no problem. He was just like, yeah, I'll do them.
He did more than I could think about doing.
Yeah, they were so easy for him that he wasn't really even counting or like 1, 2. He was just like, yeah, here's some.
You want more?
Stupid Rock On 1M1.
Yeah, jerk. Just athleticism. Wings, let
So
me
you
ask
guys,
you, why don't
please
you like
go ahead.
Battlefield 4?
I haven't really played a whole lot of it, and every time I get put in a server, it's generally Operation Hurt Locker. I don't know if that's the map name. It's like a prison. It's like inside of a prison.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And like it's just chaos. You don't know what's going on. There's C4 and grenades being tossed everywhere. You just don't know what you're doing.
What game mode are you playing?
Conquest.
Okay. What? So do you not like it on any particular platform, or is it all across Xbox One, PS4?
I haven't played on PC because I couldn't get Battlefield 3 to work on PC. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I'm not wasting my money again. Because for those you don't know, I have Battlefield 3 and I had a premium subscription to Battlefield on PC, and like that was money down the toilet. I mean, I would have had more fun throwing that money out the window of my truck as I got out of it from the Battlefield purchase. I don't know. I just don't find chaos very fun.
So there's
My
I don't know if we want.
My problem with Battlefield 4 is the damn PC server browser thing. It seems like half of the time I go to play, it tells me I don't have the plugin for it. And then I install the plugin, and I restart Chrome. I still don't have the plugin. And I can spend an hour before I even play a game just fighting with the damn plugin. Like, I might become a console Battlefield 4
I've been
player.
there.
Even though they say that Battlefield 4 is like a great PC game, not if you can't play it. The fucking server
true.
browser is completely broken in my house.
I have no experience with like the PC version of the game, so you can correct me. But in the Xbox One and the PS4 version, there's no way to invite your friends to play beforehand. There's no squads. Why did they think this would be a good addition to their game, not to allow you to play with your friends?
Lefty, do you know anything about this?
Well, on PC, it's difficult. It's not as fluid as Call of Duty. When you play Call of Duty with a party, you'll get in a game. It'll be a full game, and you and your buddy will be on the same team. In Battlefield on PC, it's you can start like a group using the Battlelog plugin on your browser, and then join a server, and it'll pull your friend into the same game. Or you can join a game and tell your friend, hey, join off me.
Will your friend be on your team?
Sometimes.
Most of the time, I think they work. I think they've gotten a lot better with it on Battlefield 4, as I've seen. As for you being in the same squad, again, hit or miss, but it's gotten better in Battlefield 4, but it doesn't always work. On PC or on console, my only experience was Battlefield 3, and that was rather difficult to.
This one didn't have that. Like me and my buddy tried to play last night, just two people, me and another person. I go, all right, we can't group up, so I'm going to join the game, and you join the game right directly after me because we were in a party chat. And we got put on the same team, but we're in different squads, and you couldn't switch between them. So I was just stuck with these four blue guys that didn't know what the hell they were doing, and I wanted to be on my buddy's team.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that took a whole lot of the fun factor out because I like to play games as a social experiment.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Not experiment, but like a social interaction.
Right.
I don't want to be there with three guys without mics.
As I understand it, what I meant by hit or miss was or difficult on the console side of getting a party started. Why did I just laugh at that? It's convoluted. It's difficult to find. Once you find out how to do it, you figure it out rather easily, and you've got it, and you could always go to that, and you get a party joined up, and you all join the game. But it's difficult to figure out how to manage it so that using the in-game browser on Battlefield on console, you can get a group started and go join games from there. It's difficult. I think it's something DICE really. They say they worked a lot on it, but I think they need to work a lot harder.
But even Arma 3 allows you to group up. Like if me and you join the same server, we have to talk about, all right, we're going to join this server. And when we get there, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go blue team. You go blue team, and we group up there, so we're in a group now. So we can spawn off each other.
Remember we talked about how good Arma 3 looks, and you're like, in-game doesn't look that good. In-game, Arma 3 looks amazing. You're playing on PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be the best-looking shooter I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen Borderlands. That thing looked good, too.
It's been a while since I played it. I played it through the alpha and the beta, and a little bit when it first came out. It might be different now. They might have had texture packs they've added.
I haven't even played it, but there's a YouTube channel devoted to, it's called like Original Source or something like that. And the guy uploads high-quality videos in the native thing. Like, he doesn't re-render them or anything. He'll upload the DxTory straight to YouTube in like 1440p or something like that. So it's a really big file. And he doesn't commentate or anything, but you get to see what the game really looks like natively. Arma 3 looks great.
Yeah, but looks and playability is two different things. Like Arma 3 has a clunky interface.
No, I'm not about to argue that. I mean, you're completely right. But you were like, we looked at pictures of Arma 3 and you said, nah, it doesn't really look that good. No, Arma 3 looks great. But isn't Arma 3 the one that's supposed to be really realistic?
It is.
It's supposed to be a simulator. That was the original idea of Arma and the Arma engine. They wanted to simulate like war.
Have they given up realism for fun at all yet? Like, are they?
No, they haven't. Like the guns are abysmal to use. Like you shooting an assault rifle is like you'd shoot an assault rifle in real life. It's bumbling everywhere. You might hit like 3 out of 30 bullets.
You might need to adjust your sight in real life.
Well, I've never actually ran up a hill and then tried to shoot at somebody on another hill across the way. I had a picture, I'd be out of breath, and I couldn't hit him very well.
All right, that's a good point. I bet that.
Yeah, Arma 3 now, because I just played it a few days ago, and like the Wasteland servers, they run really well. Like I was pulling 50, 60 frames per second on ultra settings, easy.
Card, what are you running?
GTX, the MSI GTX 680 4GB.
Oh, okay, strong card.
Yeah, and it's very like it looks video gamey, and there are some aspects of it that aren't as real as other aspects, like the vehicle system and kind of you can tumble in an ATV and you don't get hurt, so it's like okay, but it's very much a game where it's like you use an assault rifle. Like kind of like how it's used in real life. You are engaging people with an assault rifle 100+ meters away, and you've got to account for bullet drop, and you can adjust your sights and account for all this stuff. And the tracer effects are so cool when dusk settles in, and then the server switches over to nighttime, and then if you've got tracer rounds loaded, you see them streak at your target, and then if they ricochet off a metal target, you see them careen off.
Yeah, it's great. Especially on night servers. Oh my lord,
it looks really cool.
Tracers are cool. I shoot, and I was gonna say I shoot a lot. I shoot, but I hadn't shot tracers until I started hanging out with Kyle. even if you shoot, right? Even if you consider yourself a shooter, you might be surprised where those bullets go after they hit stuff. Kyle, back me up here, right?
They go wherever the fuck they want to go. If
Oh
you're
my-
shooting at like, let's say your target's 500 yards away, and another couple hundred yards behind it is like a, a big group of trees. If the bullet will like pass through your target at 500, and then hit one of those trees at an odd angle, 200 more yards behind that, and then it'll take a right turn,
Mm-hmm.
like a rubber ball would when it canters off a wall or something. It's just like that.
Picture your bullet being a super fast rubber ball. You know, the super bouncy ones?
Mm-hmm.
They behave like that. Imagine you somehow projected that thing at 1,000 feet per second. You know that thing's going anywhere, right? When you're a shooter, there's a general, it's hard to explain to a non-shooter why anyone would think this, but there's this thought that after it hits something, that bullet's done, right? Like the bullet did its thing, it impacted that, and now it stopped. And when you shoot tracer rounds, you realize that shit didn't stop. That shit does all sorts of weird
It just went
things.
somewhere else.
It just went somewhere else. You're lucky it didn't hit you. Unless you have a place for it to stop going, like a dirt mound is typically used as a safe backdrop.
Yeah.
Unless you have something like that, that bullet is going places and it's doing things, and you need to shoot tracers to see. A thing that someone might do if they have the opportunity is to shoot a machine gun into a car, right? It's fun. It blows up, the tires go, it bang, bang, bang. The sound is real gratifying. Like, I'm used to shooting paper. So when I shot an M60 at a car, all of a sudden, it's loud and you can hear the impact and it's neat. Then I shot M60 tracers at a car. I'm so glad I didn't kill anyone that day. Those bullets were going all over the place. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you're shooting at like something like hard steel, those bullets can bounce almost straight back. Like not perfectly straight back. I don't think that's a possibility, but they'll come back at really sharp angles back towards the area you fired them from. That's happened a few times. I've been hitting someone else was shooting once at steel, and the target was maybe 50 yards away, and the bullet came back and hit me in the face, made me bleed a little.
Oh, really? Wow.
It didn't penetrate. It was just a scrape, but they'll come back.
Might have been a part of the bullet too, right?
Yeah, it was a piece of yeah, of course.
Shrapnel.
Don't imagine a whole bullet. Imagine like a little piece of lead or copper jacket that's coming back really fast.
So, dude, we've been doing a lot of video game talk this week, but I've got another topic. The Steam box is coming out.
Ooh.
How much is it?
Right, the first build was announced, right?
Yeah, a company called iBuyPower, who I hadn't heard of before. Looks like they're coming out with the first Steam box. I think the graphics card in it, for those of you who know graphics card, is what the hell is it called? The RX 290?
Oh, really?
It's not the 290X, but the one like it.
It's an AMD card, right?
Yeah, it's there's NVIDIA cards are approved to be in Steambox, but the first one released is an AMD card. And which I'm actually an NVIDIA fanboy, but it's the 290. I think it's $500. If not, it's $600, but I think it's $500. Like, it's right there with the existing consoles. It is significantly faster than a PS4. I think it is roughly twice as fast as a PS4 is. And and
It's so funny, right? We sat here this whole time quibbling over the Xbox versus the PlayStation 4, but the Steam box is like, it's not just a little better. It's not like, yeah, there's more particles. No, it's just, this thing is double what that is.
Right, yeah. The PS4 is something like, 15% better than the Xbox, and the Steam is something like 100% better than the PS4. If you're talking about power, the rest of the picture, I don't know. Like, how's the Steam box Netflix client? Does it run HBO Go? These are questions I don't know the answer to off the top of my head. But if you're talking about gaming, the Steam box owns it, and I think it comes out in January.
iBuyPower made my PC.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah. They're like they're one of those people that you can buy custom build PCs. So it looks like the quote that I'm seeing here on a few different articles is a multi-core AMD CPU and a discrete AMD Radeon R9 270.
Ooh.
And a 500 gigabyte hard drive, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities. That's from Joystick.
Did I get my stats wrong? I usually get those right.
Let's see.
Yep, I'm seeing 270 also. All right, my mistake. I apologize. But the power thing.
Well, what is it? What does a R9 270 do? More tech talk that people get upset about.
Yeah, and the big thing is like the game library. This thing is supposed to run all the games in the Steam. Like either they'll run them natively or they'll run it through like some sort of cloud magic. And like people are like, the Xbox One has slightly better games now, but it'll have way better games when Titanfall comes out, which of course is a big gamble. Titanfall's not even out. The games that are out right now that run on both seem to run slightly better on the PS4. So that's a thing. Xbox seems to be doing a little better with the exclusives. PS4 seems to be doing a little better with the ones that run on both, which to me are actually the more important games probably. The Steam box is going to have a way bigger game library than either of them. So that's kind of interesting. It looks good.
This is still a hard decision for me. I really don't know what to do.
A big part of it, I think, that people underestimate. I can't see what I'm showing. Oh, I'm showing it well. A big part of it that people underestimate is where your friends are. Like that, when I was a kid growing up, it was like, do you want a quad or a dirt bike? Right? That was like the thing. Do 2-wheel or 4-wheel motorcycle. What do you want? And the answer is always get the one your friends have. Because the sorts of obstacles that you'll climb, the sorts of places that you go are different on a motorcycle versus a quad. Which one pushes you in the machine? They're different obstacles. And, obviously if you're the first one to get it, then maybe you set the tone. But if you're trying to play with your 3 friends, get what your 3 friends have. And the same is true to me for the consoles.
Yeah. See, I've got lots of concerns, though, because I have to believe that eventually there's going to be some backwards compatibility on the Xbox side. So I've got all these Xbox games.
I wouldn't make that part of the consideration. Like,
no?
I think that backwards compatibility is at its most important right now. And that if you're hoping that 18 months from now they'll prioritize it, you're wrong. 18 months from now, even customers won't ask for backwards compatibility.
But see, in the past, that's how it's been, right? They roll that out.
On the PS3. On the PS3, they launched backwards compatibility, and then I think when they went to the thin one, they took it away.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should just buy both and have one in the living room and one in my bedroom.
Sell the yacht, buy 6.
I hope I can afford more than 6 after I sell that yacht.
Boats don't really appreciate, as I understand it.
It's more expensive than that, though.
Kyle's running numbers like, oh, shit.
Wonder what happened to Wings there. He just kind of vanished.
I think that girl called.
Well, let me give him an invite so that he has something to click on in case he lost the other invite. Or
still think that girl called. He's about to go. He's thinking he's going to go lay some pipe. That's what he's doing.
That's a possibility.
He's like, out.
Better not be laying pipe.
Laying pipe is not your job, Wings. You're not a pipe fitter. You're not local 231.
Oh, he texted me. His internet died. He's resetting.
So we're going to switch over the ad to Elon IP, our Grand Theft Auto guy. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. This week I've heard it is the best on all of YouTube.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. He does all the great GTA mods?
He plays the Hulk mod, the Iron Man mod, the Batman mod, the Ghost Rider mod, and he plays the new Grand Theft Auto as well. He's kind of a Grand Theft Auto savant, one might
that's
say.
Cool.
Yep.
Go check him out.
There you go.
And if you want to sponsor an episode of PKA, Woody, where can they go? Who can they call?
Heather
besides the Ghostbusters?
at Woody'sGamertag.tv. Write her. It's on your screen up there. And if you are indeed the best channel on all of YouTube, we might just say it.
Yep.
Or if you just want to write us a really nice letter like that one guy did.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was
Those are
neat.
nice.
I like it. My favorite ones are the ones that aren't even selling anything.
YOLO
It's
boys.
okay if you're selling something. I'm down with you, but
Mhm.
the YOLO boys and the guy with the letter, like that's fun too. It's like I just want my message out there. New topic.
Sure.
I've heard that South Korea is using Twitter to sway elections now. I guess the state is propping up false accounts and astroturfing so that their favorite people win.
Huh.
So how does Twitter impact elections?
The election.
I guess they're astroturfing, right? Are people unfamiliar with the term astroturfing? So you probably heard the term grassroots movement, right? A grassroots movement is when regular old people like band together and try to make some kind of change. Astroturfing is when a company hires regular people to act like they're banding together to create some kind of change. It's fake. They're being paid. They're not doing it out of passion. And the state was making it look like there's a lot of popular support for a candidate on Twitter in South Korea when there really wasn't.
Oh.
And I thought about it, and I'm like, that level of corruption, I think, is considered normal here, isn't it? Like, it might not be government hired, but campaigns do it all the time. Newt Gingrich had like 800,000 fake Twitter followers.
None of those are fake. Newt's the man.
They were fake.
Yeah.
They really were. Newt Gingrich was I'm sure they all had fake ones. Newt Gingrich did it so poorly that it was obvious. He was picking up like 600,000 in a day. He'd like flatline, and then bam, all his followers would come the day he bought them. It was and then he lost 500,000 one day and had to like repurchase them because Twitter does that. They clean out the fake accounts, and you could see he had all we all work in social media. Like, we know how things grow and at what rate they can happen. And even if you have that explosion day, you know what that looks like too. It doesn't look like, the day it doesn't look like you go from 30 to 300,000. That's not what explosions look like. Mm-hmm. And what Newt did was clearly buy Twitter followers. But it didn't even strike me as like outside the norm. Like,
yeah, I didn't care.
Yeah, is it shady? It's within the realms of the shady you expect in a political campaign.
Yeah, politics is anybody who's looking at politics and like, oh, they should do that though. You're just fooling yourself. Politics is so full of bullshit.
Yeah.
Politics is the dirtiest game out there.
McCain lost South Carolina because George Bush's campaign put out stuff that he had illegitimate black babies that he wasn't telling you about.
Hey, there's been no proof that he doesn't have those illegitimate black babies. Am I right, Wings? Am I right?
John McCain?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you should have asked those gentlemen at Walmart the other night.
John McCain's one of the guys I wish would have been president in my lifetime.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he would have been a good leader. I didn't like the fact they put Sarah Palin, and we were a heart attack away from Sarah Palin leading the country. I think
Is Sarah Palin dumb? Do we think she's like literally dumb, like below average?
She's dumb. I just think she's like me.
I'm smarter than both Sarah Palin and George W. Bush.
I don't think you're smarter than George W. Bush.
I am. By a significant
Did you
margin.
see that painting he did of Leno? That man has talent.
Being able to draw and being able to, figure problems out are two different.
You've got a bug on you. Woody's got a bug on him. Woody's got a bug going to his neck right now. Oh, God. Did anybody see that scary fucking bug crawl up Woody's shoulder and onto his neck?
What?
Where did it go? It's under the collar. I swear to God, it's under pop your collar. Other side, under your collar right now. No, like pop it. Like put your collar up. This isn't some weird attempt to get you to pop your collar. I promise you there is a bug living under your collar.
You can tell how white Woody is because he has the collar buttoned to his shirt.
That's how it comes. Let's see this.
That's just
There is a stink bug hiding under your collar right now. I saw it crawl in there.
Are you?
Oh man, I swear to you guys, I watched this bug crawl up his shoulder and like toward it, maybe on the back of his head by now. Could you maybe spin around?
Just take your shirt off, I guess, is where we're heading towards. Eventually, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, I really wish it was on his back and huge. I swear to God, watching the video.
I think Kyle has found the magic mushrooms.
No, dude, that creeped me out. I literally watched it looked like a stink bug, crawl up his right shoulder toward his neck and then vanish. Yes. That happened just now.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Anybody that gets to Palin's level of power and has to have more than tits. I'm gonna put it that way. Is she a good public speaker? Most likely not.
I thought she was a great public speaker. I just thought she said stupid things when she wasn't scripted. When she was,
Everybody says that stuff. I mean, she's just
No,
not
not everybody.
professional.
She said some real dumb things. But when I saw her first come out at the Republican National Convention, and that crowd just went insane, and she was up there and she was speaking really well. She's a good public speaker. She's much better than I am. She's much better than like 99% of the people in the country.
Here's the thing that scares me about Palin. It scares me about any female president. A lot of these, foreign countries.
Here we go.
Females are considered lower than males. And would you have like a female representative in our country?
Yeah, we do it all the
Be
time.
insulting
Secretary
you.
of State.
There it is right there.
There's the bug. There's
There
the
it
bug.
Oh shit!
Where was it hiding?
I don't know. I lost it again.
Oh dear.
Oh wow.
What if it were a spider? That would have been.
Let it bite you.
That would have been the end of the show. That would have been the end of the show. I'm done. I'm out.
Woody
If there's a
turns into
spider crawling
Spider-Man,
over me.
and that's the end of PKA.
That's the Xbox bug.
What if you got bitten by a radioactive stink bug? That'd suck. Then you're just stinky,
Superpowers.
man.
I bet it hit in that little back section of the shirt right there.
I don't know, man. That thing. That's creepy.
don't
I had those in my house for a while. I think they I don't know, all the eggs hatched at some point about a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, and they were everywhere.
Yeah, we don't. Every fall we have some stink bugs. This fall has been a way bigger battle for me.
Yeah.
I want to keep myself on camera, just wait for the stink bug to come back.
I've got you on camera. I'm watching.
All
See
right,
if
we're moving
anything
to
else
Woody
crawls
on
on you.
main camera mode just to.
Yeah,
That bug right there was
apparently living in the
camouflage
jungle.
Woody's shirt, dude. It changed color.
I kind of want to button.
I saw it crawling up there, and I was just like, is no one else seeing this bug crawl on Woody?
I had Lefty on my main camera.
There
No,
it is. Now I feel a little
but
safer.
with George W. Bush, you really think he's dumb?
I don't think George Bush is dumb anyway. Just anybody can excel to that level of power,
But
generally knows how to work the system.
I think he's dumb. I think he's dumb. I think he was born on third base, thinks he hit a triple. I think that, his friends are like, look at this White House. How'd you get here? Exactly. He did. I think that he was just, his grandfather was a senator, his father was a president, and then he didn't get there on his own. But I don't know. I wish I could. It's been so long. It's been 6 years since his presidency ended. He made some terrible, terrible decisions. I mean, the wars he started. The Afghanistan war, I'll give him a pass on. I think every president would have started that one. The Iraq war, any moron knew not to do that. Any moron knew that you don't just rush in there with no proof, calling weapons of mass destruction. Mission accomplished shenanigans, that was bullshit. You're right.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
My question is, why we took so long after he got out of the White House to pull him out of Iraq?
That's a good question.
Do you? But what about Bush's act? All right, say what you want about his skill at running the largest country on the planet. I think that's one of the most difficult jobs imaginable. But as just a normal citizen of the world, I just don't think he's dumb. Do you think they faked his SAT scores and his college transcripts and everything?
Derrick Rose got into college somehow.
But do you think they faked his SAT scores and all that stuff?
Let me
What
tell
are
you
his
this story,
SAT
Kyle.
scores?
1,200.
I used to work with a guy his name was Jimmy Jernigan. He's dead now. He died of a heart
Obama's
attack.
was less than that, by the way.
And Jimmy Jernigan, he didn't have a driver's license or a high school diploma. But at the time, Vietnam was going on, and they needed bodies.
Yeah.
And to join the boot camp, you had to at least have a high school diploma. So to get Jimmy to sign up to go to Vietnam, they guaranteed him he would have a driver's license, whether he could drive or not, and a high school certificate, whether he graduated or not, and he got both of them.
Okay, and I have no problem with that, to be honest, because they just need bodies to go fight a war. But what we're talking about here is whether this guy's a dummy or just a shitty president. And I think that it's the latter.
But I'm just saying, if they would fake that to get a guy over there to throw in front of
but
people,
nobody's
I don't think
gonna-
they would fake that to get a guy into the presidency. Who's checking that?
Oh.
Is there a staff?
It's been checked. I guarantee you, so when you're a politician, your whole life gets poured over. Like, not just a private investigator, but somebody paid a little money. Teams of private investigators, teams of, groups of individuals who sit in rooms and try to think of something to say bad about you, like maybe you fathered an illegitimate African American child in South Carolina.
He was an oil baron. Like, the Bushes are in oil. You can't say they can't make like a generous donation to a school, and all of a sudden SAT scores pop up that are legitimately in the school record.
I don't know about that, man. I think SAT scores are pretty legit across the board, and it's not like the guy scored a 1,500 or a 1,400 or a 1,300. He scored a 1,200.
1206. And Obama scores are a secret.
Obama scores are
just like his birth certificate. I still never seen it. So much for your private investigators, Kyle. Where's Obama's birth certificate? See it.
The average SAT score of Obama's 81 transfer group to Columbia was
bullshit.
Yeah, they don't know his. Okay.
Yeah, they don't. They're like, Bush got a 1206, and if you take an average person from the class that Obama went to school with...
I think this is a nice way of saying, well, for some reason, we don't have the President Obama's scores. We don't have much paperwork on him when it comes to his academics and travels. But don't worry about that. No, don't look at that. Don't look at that. What do you mean, why don't we have him? We just don't, okay? What do you mean he's ruling? Yeah, he's ruling the world, of course.
What do you mean we don't have evidence of weapons of mass destruction? Don't focus on that. No.
This is the Apache gunship AH-64. Look how many Sidewinder missiles it can hold.
I know you're referring to what all the news stations covered, right?
Yeah.
I can smell stink bug.
Yeah.
I can smell it. The thing is a... Does that mean
inside
he's
you now?
It's like that thing from The Matrix.
Why don't you
it's
take the
worse.
shirt off, Woody, and like wave it out?
Remember the scarab beetles from the Mummy movies? That would just crawl under your skin and just like hundreds of them?
Nope.
I'm hoping that his dog did that to his chair.
This?
What are you talking
What
about?
is a workaholic?
It just wore out prematurely. This chair was $700. If you don't know, it's a Herman Miller Arion chair. And it should really last much better. And I didn't abuse it. I guess I'm kind of rough on chairs because sometimes I turn around and I sit on them like this. But I don't know if you can see that.
That wouldn't take the armrest off.
Yeah, exactly.
The armrest, it just totally. There's no reason the armrest should wear out like it did.
That chair right there isn't. This chair I drug from Kyle's 5.5 hours in the rain. It looks fabulous.
I should write him or something. Like this chair was like a month old, and the this leather thingy started like chipping off or something.
Yeah, they'll fix that. I bet.
We'll see.
I'd let them know who you are.
I'm kind of a big deal in the video game community.
And everybody gets to see this chair, and they ask me about it, and I'm like, oh, this company right here is fucking up.
And by the by, would you like to sponsor a podcast
with one of your $700 chairs?
Yeah.
We'd all like
company
one.
giving chairs away to everybody. Like all these live streamers and stuff, they're trying to get them to use their chairs. They look like race car chairs.
Oh yeah, the guys on the race were using them, right? Is that
Oh
the same?
yeah. The guys on the race were using them.
Because I want an office chair. I want one that goes high enough so that I can just like, if I just tilt my head back just a little bit,
Oh, I'm
resting it on the thing.
I'm on a Tony Montana chair.
Yeah. I don't know where to find one of those.
I want a really high quality office chair. That's all. I don't know. I maybe I'm flexible in these things, but yeah.
Like this chair, I don't know if you can see it on my screen. I hate how the back kind of goes away from you when you're sitting straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like if the back was extended and it curved like from where it ends on your chair wings, if it started curving back towards you, or the headrest was just angled more forward, so that you could just and your head.
I'd like to be able to do this right here and be like have my back 100% supported.
Yeah.
And like be able to lay my head back on like a pillow.
Chiropractic talk. Lumbar support talk.
I'm not that picky about my chairs. I've got a computer chair sitting in this room right now. I'm looking. I have no idea what brand. It's somewhere between $70 and $300. I just don't know.
I've seen the chairs in your house, Kyle. You get the ones from Office Depot.
It's possible. I'm not sure. You haven't seen this one in particular, but
I've seen Kitty's, and I'm like, I was astonished that Kitty with all her spinal problems doesn't have a nicer chair. It's like.
I think she wants to. She's got like a heat pad and stuff that she puts on that chair, and she got that electrical muscle stimulator the other day. That thing's
I've seen
cool.
that. She didn't like that.
She didn't like it. I love it.
Electrical muscle stimulator thing.
It's kind of like the thing you go to a chiropractor and they put the shock things on your back to stimulate the muscles.
It's kind of shaped like a torpedo.
No.
No, it's almost like a defibrillator. You put a patch on it, it sends electricity through your body.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. It's you've got these 2 defibrillator type
Feels
pads
a little bit like right before that moment when you sneeze.
No. No. I don't know what you're getting at, Woody.
I think you do.
It just electrocutes you wherever you put these pads.
Anywhere
How intense
you
does it
put
get,
the
Kyle? Does
pads,
it get
right?
like to the point where it like almost feels like it's like prickly, or does it just give you like?
Yeah, everything feels really prickly, and when it's on like a pulse mode, like for your arms or feet or something, like it visibly makes your muscles like bounce around and contort.
Does it feel like something is rhythmically slapping against you?
I still smell the stink bug. God.
I'm telling you, it's inside of you now. You just gotta become one with the stink bug.
I'm literally checking my nose.
That was creepy though when I saw it crawling up your shoulder, and I knew that I was the only one in the world who knew that there was a stink bug, or some sort of bug, like crawling closer and closer to your neck.
Nice.
Maybe it was a poisonous one.
Don't put that in his head. Don't put that in
That
his
was
head.
a stink bug.
I'm kind of at one with the stink bugs. Really, I just want to catch and release.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I usually
He would have died on my shoulder as soon as I seen him.
I thought I grabbed, instead of you looking at him, I tried to do it through this camera, which like mirrors, and it's tricky. That's why I missed him.
Yeah. He's so paranoid. It would be really funny if when he turned around we could see it and we weren't saying anything.
Yeah, right. Spider comes coming. So do we need a new topic?
I think so.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
want me to provide the topic, or does anybody have something they'd like to talk about?
I got something I'd like to talk about. I don't know if everybody wants to talk about it though.
Well, you got me curious. What do you got?
What's the deal with women and cats?
So, what do you mean?
Like most women that are in their 30s that are still single, almost all own cats.
well,
Your prospective girlfriend has a cat, doesn't she?
I don't have no. I guess prospective girlfriend. Yeah, she does have cats, and the one before that had cats. And
wait. How
the one
many
before that
cats?
had cats, and
How many cats does this girl you saw last night own?
one. She has
Okay.
one.
Okay. I was
And
expecting
the one
45.
before her had like 5.
That is a sure sign of crazy. Okay, that's a sure sign of there's repressed issues there, companionship issues.
Yeah, that's what cats are good for. They're good for as some sort of man replacement for women who can't.
But cats are
Especially if you like to-
replacement when cats are like the most like unlovable creature I can ever think about. They only need you when they want something.
Because they're for women who like to replicate men who treat them like shit.
Oh, goodness. The cat. If you think
don't know.
about it, a cat's personality is kind of like a man's personality. He only comes around when he wants something. You give it to him, and then he goes off and does stuff. That's how
He
cats
leaves
are.
stinky shits in the house.
Cats suck, man. I'm sorry. I don't understand cats as pets. I don't get it. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. I have 2 cats. They live outside. They take care of themselves. Somebody else feeds them. I wouldn't want a cat inside who was like, my pet. Because I want my pet to be like this jolly little creature who comes running up to me and loves me so much every time he sees me. It's like the best day ever just because I'm there. And if I give him a little bit of roast beef, he's just in heaven. That's what I want. Fucking cats.
You want a small little affection machine.
Yeah, I just want dogs are better pets, man. They just are. Cats,
like dogs
I
better,
don't
too.
I don't understand the cat thing. Like I read on Reddit that I didn't read the article, but they said something along the lines of at some point cats evolved the ability to recognize, people's voices and understand that they were people's voices, but they never evolved the ability. They never evolved to respond or do what they're told because they just don't want to. It's not what cats do. Cats suck.
So Why were you asking about women and cats?
I'm just wondering that because it's just something I noticed myself that most middle-aged women have this cat problem, and I'm like, I hate
don't
cats.
find that.
I gotta lie to them in their face every time. Do you like cats? Yeah. I fucking hate cats. If it was me, I'd throw cats out the window while I was driving. Just for
wait,
leisure.
wait, we just took a turn.
Oh, dark. Oh,
Went to a dark place there.
Wait,
Well-
I'm sorry, I'm having.
Wings said
issues.
that if he had his way, he would throw a cat out a moving car window
For leisure and entertainment.
for leisure and entertainment. Which sounds like a YouTube video category, but no, it's how Wings describes throwing cats out of a moving vehicle.
And I'm saying some of this for shock value, but at the same time, dude, I hate cats, especially when you have anything of something new, like a car, or like a new patio set, or new lawn chairs. Cats are fucking, flowers. They take shits in flowers. Like we had neighbors. We have a crazy cat lady that lives behind us. She has like 20 plus cats. I don't know how many there is, but she had 20 plus cats. I kept catching them in raccoon cages and hauling them off to other neighborhoods.
Wings kidnapped his neighbor's cat and relocated them.
I don't think she names them. They're just strays.
Wings
She
is the
feeds them.
reason for movies like Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. He's that asshole who thinks the dog is a stray and takes it to the pound. But it's even worse because he knows it's not a stray. He's kidnapping cats. He's a
the cats in
catnapper.
my yard taking shits in my fucking mulch and my fucking flower beds.
Wings, you're a catnapper.
I'm not a cat napper. Cats
Did you or did you
trespassing.
not?
They're on my property. I'm not killing them. I'm taking them off.
So
Just
by that
imagine if I'm in
rationale,
To other
if your neighbor's,
neighborhoods.
by that rationale, if your neighbor's kid was in your yard, fucking with your flowers,
Kids
and
have
you,
a higher priority list. Like they go higher. Like all right, I'd get
of course
caught.
they do, but it's the same thing you're doing to both. So that's what makes you a catnapper.
Okay, well, I guess I'm a cat napper.
You're like a Disney villain right now.
Cats. They're strays, Kyle. They're strays that come to her house because she feeds them.
Do they have names?
I do not know if they have names. I call them orange cat, black cat, dumb cat.
And
Here,
dead
have
cat.
you ever killed a cat?
No, I've never killed a cat.
You've
Well,
never
that
killed
one
a cat?
There's that one time I talked about in PK where I was playing with a cat and I put it
Oh.
under the bucket and went to go eat dinner.
Yeah.
Forgot about it.
That poor cat.
Oh.
I'm
I've
sure it
never
was a
killed-
quick.
I've never killed
I'm
a
sure
cat.
it was a quick death under that bucket in the hot sun. Don't worry, folks.
I've thought about shooting a cat with like my 22, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
You just
Yeah,
kidnap them in raccoon cages and take them to other neighborhoods.
I drop them off in like trailer parks and stuff where they're not going to be on the side of the road.
Oh, that's okay then. Yeah,
I
I've
mean, they're
never.
stray cats. For the most part, the only reason they go to our house is because they want to eat, and then they come look in my yard and they'll like get in Chevy's dog food, or they'll scratch at the doors and they'll do like what your cat does and try to destroy weather stripping.
Mhm.
Just do stupid cat shit that I don't want. I don't want them sleeping on my cars. I don't want them scratching my paint. I don't want them clawing into the bed of the truck.
I have personally never killed a cat, but I have experienced this idea, especially with rednecks, that for some reason all rednecks despise cats, and they want to kill them. It's creepy. And I remember I was in high school, and these 2 or 3 redneck guys had spotted a kitten, and they were all about killing this kitten. They were like, "Oh, it's a kitten. Let's fucking kill it. I hate fucking cats." And I'm like, "Did a cat kill your mother? What are you talking about right now?" I'm like, I had to run in and grab the cat and go give it to a fucking teacher so these Looney Tunes wouldn't murder a cat during school hours. I don't know what that's about.
fucked up. I'm nowhere near that. I put food in the trap. They walk in the trap. It closes behind them. They can't get out. Put them in the bed of the truck.
Relocation.
Drive them somewhere else.
Relocation effort. They go to a camp and hang out. They're good.
It's no danger trap where they get their leg caught. No, it's just a trap that closes behind them when they go in it.
Or are you gonna put that dog collar around your neck for a video?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a 3-minute video where I just go up from 2, 4, 6, and 8 and just do them all and hold them for the entire 8 seconds.
I think you should be doing some sort of activity while you do it, like playing a game, and every time you die, someone's watching and they give you a good jolt.
That would be.
That
Do a
would-
Call of Duty series every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, but on the highest thing though, put it on like 6 or 8 or whatever the
8,
the,
dude.
the
8
highest level
stuck
is.
for 8 seconds, dude. I mean, that's something you wouldn't want to do too often.
Does it have to be 8 seconds?
8 seconds is the max they'll allow it to do before safety.
Yeah, I would just do like a second or 2.
Go big or go home.
8 seconds sounds awful. That's like even a taser is only 5 seconds.
Yeah, man up. Man up. No balls.
Speaking of balls, that was my idea. I suggested that
I mean,
Put
I
the
would do
thing-
8 seconds on like my calf or something, but on my neck,
What? Dude,
What about
step
your-
up.
what
Wait,
about
how much could you handle on your balls? Like Kyle.
I don't know. I mean, like,
Here's what I want, because I'm imagining that this thing looks like a dog collar or like an oversized bracelet. I want that thing like wrapped around your scrotum, basically.
Yes.
So that, and I don't want to get too graphic
just
here, but if
sitting
you
on
can
my shirt,
imagine,
dude, it's like 2 prongs that go into your skin.
How many nuts
Exactly.
do you have?
I have 2 nuts.
Perfect. So if you can imagine, I'd like the
I hate
collar
to tell you.
tightly wrapped around your scrotum,
There's no
Um,
little Wings of Redemptions running around yet, and I would like to have one eventually.
You'll
and
be fine.
yeah, this doesn't hurt that, and you know your testicles would be hanging below, and obviously you can't put that on YouTube, but I think you should wear like some sweatpants so we can like see the bulge, and maybe you could like handle the bulge and show it for the camera and let us all know that it's there. Kind of shift things around down there through the sweatpants like
I'm
an old
liking
man
it.
in a
I
strip
like it.
club,
Uh-huh.
and you know, give yourself a little jolt. Start off on
Yeah,
one.
but see, there's gonna be a lot of fake. Oh, he faked this. He took it off. There's a camera edit. It had to be one continuous shot the entire time.
It would be easy. So this is what you'd do. You'd sit there in a chair, camera on a tripod pointed at you. You'd take the thing, reach in your pants, put it in there, and you know, maybe have someone else
I hate to
trigger
tell
it.
you, somebody else would have to tighten this down.
Never
Wait,
mind.
why?
The way it's one of those belt collars that you have to like tighten like this,
Right?
and it's a 28-inch collar when it's fully out. So
That should fit perfectly.
the fitting is not the problem. The problem is reaching over my belly and hooking it to my nuts.
Maybe go in from the back.
Well, your grandmother already fingered your butthole to
Oh,
break
yeah,
up
get-
the poop, so
Yeah, and if we had another person involved, that would add to the. Ooh, dude, ask the girl, the new girl. Ask the new girl if she'd be down.
I was thinking that like maybe a week later.
You were thinking.
you were not thinking this.
I hope you weren't.
I was thinking like that's who I'd be most comfortable showing my nuts to.
Wings, please don't go up to this girl and ask her to assist you in hooking
Do
up
it.
the dog collar to
Do
your
it.
nuts for a YouTube video.
Just videotape the awkward moment when you ask. You're like, why are you setting the camera?
Yes.
I got something
Yes.
to tell you.
Exactly that. Does she know what you do and you make these videos and all that?
No, she doesn't know what to do yet. I just told her I do advertise salesman for the internet.
That's what I tell a lot of people. Yeah, that's an easy way to explain. Yeah, I'm an advertiser. But I definitely want to see that shot collar do something, and it need. I
I
get
mean,
not
it
wanting
doesn't
to
work
put-
on Chevy. Like I've already given up on it with him.
Well, it takes a while. Is it a bark collar or?
It's a one you hold with your hand.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You gotta that's something that you gotta reinforce over like the course of a week or so. If
Well,
you're
it
pressing
doesn't
the button
affect
every time.
him. Like the manual says, if the dog starts to shake his head and shows discomfort, that means it's affecting him. He doesn't do none of this.
You need that. You need the one I have. I couldn't find the remote for it while you were here, or we were gonna attach it to you. I just found the collar. But when you hit that thing, you know it.
Dude, mine knows it. I did a video. It literally makes you move, like stamp your feet and stuff.
Mm.
It's not voluntary actions. It just
I've been
moves you.
electrocuted a lot.
You know, at this point, Wings, I think anything but shocking those legendary gigantic balls would be a letdown.
I do too. That or pepper spray. I like. to see
I
the
did
pepper
the neck
spray.
thing, Wings. Everybody saw it. Million view video, really nice. You gotta
Can't go down from there.
Yeah, you can't do your wrist. You need to beat it. You need to step past it. Otherwise, it's
Yeah, you got to one up Woody here.
yeah.
This would be a bigger
Yeah,
letdown
but
than the
this
disappearance of
motherfucker's
Fat
eating
Lincoln.
Scorpions on YouTube, and I'm not trying to do that either.
Wings, no, wrap the shock collar around your nuts. Shock each one of those legendary balls. You will be.
I mean, if you want to give me million view video ideas, here's one for you. Eat a live tarantula.
But he doesn't have a tarantula handy.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah.
No. Yours is a doable thing. Shock those nuts, dude. Shock them. I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I am too. I'm kind of
Do
considering
it.
doing it to myself. Maybe I get
Yeah.
that electro pad thing. Where's that at?
When I go to see the doctor, I might ask him, will it hurt me?
Oh, no, totally not. Yeah, if you ask him, like,
Fine. No.
Yeah.
I moonlight as an amateur doctor as a hobby, and I think you'll be fine. I don't see what could go wrong.
I would love to see it. I would love to see your balls get electrocuted.
I'm just saying,
I
you're
want
probably most likely going to see me fall out the chair.
And that would be fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
that would be terrible. That would
Because I
ruin
can only
the video.
imagine it would feel like a numbing sensation, like you had to shit really bad, but it just like your muscles are pushing it out while you're trying to hold it in.
But see, that's not true. You don't have to just imagine. You can't only imagine. You could just go in the other room and grab that dog collar real quick. Just maybe not attach it, but sort of, just put the
place-
prongs down there and put
It
it on
doesn't
one.
work unless the prongs are in like really solid contact with the skin. Like if they're
Yeah,
like
you have to touch
laying on
them
the
to
side and off, it doesn't work.
Oh, it'll work. If you just touch your skin with it, it'll work.
Yeah.
If both prongs are touching your skin, you're getting shocked.
Come on, Wings. Shock your nuts.
This will
I
help
thought you guys were supposed
with
to be the friends here.
We are. This is what friendship is like. Everybody sits around. Somebody comes with something to do, and then
count back up, huh?
do it.
Yeah, shock your nuts, dude. We all want to see it. At this point, you got to go next level with this dog. Dog collar thing is not a new concept.
Someone peeked from Woody's door. They heard him say, "Shock your nuts, dude," and then left.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard the door open. Every
I
I
single
don't
would,
see you getting up to go shock your balls.
I'm not.
There's a
that's
problem.
Yeah, he's
That's
not
a
gonna do it.
video
I don't
idea.
blame you for not doing it. I don't think I would do it
Anything.
either. I am honestly hesitant to put it on my neck. For some reason I'm just afraid to
I
have
will
that
do
area of
neck.
my
I
body.
do my neck.
I would be worried about getting shocked there. I guess I'd
It
do
doesn't
it.
really hurt until like 4. Like after 4, it starts to kind of hurt.
Yeah, you should always have it on the highest setting anyway.
Yes.
You want that.
Highest setting on your nuts. Nothing else.
I've never
no
even felt the
excuses,
highest
no
setting yet.
substitutes.
You haven't felt the highest setting yet?
I've said it. 6 is the highest I've felt, and 6 is uncomfortable.
Wings,
See, that's the thing about that's the difference. Whenever I'm doing something, I was talking to Kitty about this the other day. I was like, I have to go as extreme as legally possible. Like I have to know what the max feels like. I would have to put the thing on 8, know what it felt like.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do it before. Like I'll shock myself in the video on 8 before I put it on like whatever I'm gonna put it on.
Wings,
Fair enough.
imagine this, right? So there are 2 levels of dog collars, one for little dogs and one for big dogs. Big dogs are dogs that weigh over like 150 pounds. What kind of collar do you think they'd put on you if they tried to control you? Shit would be next level, right? You'd be wearing like a bear collar. You can
I'm
totally...
pretty sure the collar I have for Chevy would control me if they hit me
Nope.
enough with it.
No, but you want something where like if you refuse to like get up and like mix that mud for that pyramid, they tap this thing once and all you wanted to do was mix mud. It's got to be like getting punched in the ear. Like it's got to be a painful, shocking, like oh my god, there's lightning in my brain. Let's get back to work. Kind of experience and pain to like get you motivated. So you
Like touching in an exposed light switch.
Lefty, what
Yeah,
if they were
feeling
telling
that.
you to stick a shock collar to your balls? How would you react to this?
What do you mean? I don't have a shock collar.
I can buy you a shock collar, Lefty. I have Amazon Prime now. I just pop your address in.
I would just say no. I'm not shocking my balls. Because no, I'm good.
I'm on the fence, yeah. Like I'd like to do it because I'd like to have the video views for it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I like the way my nuts work right now.
the way you're. What do they do right now? Because
They
I always thought his balls is completely unnecessary. Like if I could just
they
lose
make
them and
babies, Kyle. That's what they do.
Wait,
but
think of it this way. What if shocking your balls enabled you to have super babies? What if it made your semen extra potent?
Who am I
Or-
having? Like Storm from the X-Men? Like what?
yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
No, you getting shocked down there is not going to make you infertile. I was considering a vasectomy the other day. Apparently, that thing is like an outpatient surgery where like it takes them like 15 or 20 minutes, and you're good to go after a week or so.
My
My
you don't
only
want to have kids?
No, I don't think so. And I could freeze sperm if I wanted to, and they can reverse vasectomies like most of the time. But the thing is, they don't put you to sleep. And when I discussed this with my cousin, he was like, "That's the only way I'd do it is if I was awake and they just gave me a local anesthetic, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I want to be knocked the fuck out. I want to wake up and not be fertile me anymore. That's what I want to happen. I don't want to sit there with the doctor and him be like, oh, you shaved nicely down here. Thanks, doc, while he injects the fucking anesthetic into my scrotum and then starts cutting and digging around in there.
Yeah, I want more lidocaine for a surgery like that. I want to be in
Yeah.
sleepy land.
I would like to be unconscious. My cousin has a huge phobia about that, about being, unconscious for a surgery or something like that. I guess he's afraid he's not going to wake up, which is weird because it's not like he's ever seen that happen to anyone. It's just a fear he has.
But I think there's some legitimacy to that.
Yeah, there is.
Anesthesiologists can really screw you up.
That's how James Brown's wife died.
Oh yeah.
And
How did, Kanye West's mom die? Wasn't that it too?
Yeah, she had. I think she had like a heart attack on the table for some cosmetic surgery or something.
Yeah, that James Brown's wife was getting liposuction when she died. And I have a horrible story. So one of my girlfriend's friends, her mother died because she had went to get, I don't remember the operation, but I don't think it was cosmetic. I think it was like like tonsils out or something like that, or like some standard operating procedure where you go unconscious. But if you told somebody you're getting it done, it's not a big deal. They lost her, and she was under the anesthetic until she died. They lost her in like a stairwell or something, and she just died on a table. Yeah, I don't mean they lost her like, yeah, we lost her. I mean they fucking misplaced this woman's mother, and she died while under anesthetic because she had been under it for too long.
I hope she got paid. I hope her kid got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't ask, but I was thinking like that hospital would be like, they owe me $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful. Like it was when she told me that, I was like, fuck, that's one of the worst things I've ever heard. I didn't know that shit even happened.
Now imagine that happens. The hospital misplaces a loved one and they die, and then you go to sue them, and the court says, well, you can only earn $275,000 from this legal action because we've decided that to keep healthcare costs down, you're not allowed to profit from medical malpractice like you were before.
I think in this incident, though, you'd sue them under a wrongful death suit rather than malpractice to get around something like that. But I agree. I do agree with you with what you're saying with them limiting that, because there are medical malpractices that are worse than that. But I mean, in the same instance, that in part, I guess, is what's driving healthcare costs up. That and greedy.
Actually,
pharmaceutical companies.
I've heard from people that have done the research. I haven't done the research myself, but again, this is PKA. If you're here for facts, sorry.
Yeah.
But there was, I believe, a place in Texas. I want to say Texas, limited malpractice civil lawsuit payouts in terms of what you can get from a malpractice suit, and studies showed that the healthcare costs did not, like the rise of healthcare costs were not affected at all from before they enacted the cap to after. So I think that may be a bit of a just a red herring that people throw out there to talk about the greed in healthcare and like, oh, we got to cover insurance because there's medical malpractice. Well, you know what? If you're a doctor and you fuck up, you should probably pay a lot of money because you're a doctor. You're not just some like pipe fitter. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I should have used an elbow joint. I didn't. My bad.
Pipe fitters have to pay too.
Yeah, if your house floods, destroys your basement.
But not as much, right? But I mean, but if you're a doctor, like you didn't go to school for 7 years, you don't have a special title, a legal title.
True.
That the pipe fitters, right? They have to have insurance for stuff like that. But I mean, the doctor, it's like, yeah, you know what? Because like you say, Woody, you are the healthcare provider. You can say like you need to do this or you will die or your life will be severely affected, and then you can name whatever price you want, and they're gonna pay it. People are gonna now. Obviously, that's not how our system works, but that's the idea. You say if you're a doctor and you tell somebody jump or die, they have to say how high because that's just duh. And so yeah, of course, if you're a doctor, you should pay out the ass if you fuck somebody up. Of course,
the stakes are higher, so the malpractice insurance will be higher. But yeah, I feel like that's all part of the deal. If you're a carpenter, you carry a certain level of insurance because the things you do carry this level of risk. If you're an engineering design firm, You carry a certain level of insurance because the things you do have this level of risk. The same, accountants have malpractice insurance. Attorneys have insurance. Doctors need insurance too. I don't know that they should be. The stakes are higher, but the prices are high, and I don't know. I guess they're right. If you get rid of malpractice, it does lower insurance. I wonder what the percentages of that really are.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like there was a politically influential group saying like, if you're gonna redo healthcare insurance or healthcare reform, let's slip in some "you can't sue me anymore." I'd like that. God, the whole reason these prices are high is because of malpractice suits. When really, I think a lot of the doctors probably almost never been sued.
Yeah.
And why are you ordering 10 X-rays and CT scans for somebody that's got a cough? Why are you doing that?
Oh, they do that shit all the time. That system is so fucked up, and I don't think it's getting any better right now.
Oh, I had a back X-ray, and I went and I paid for the X-ray at the hospital in full. They go, oh look, we can give you a paid in full discount. So I'm like, I'm paying it all right now. I get a bill about 3 weeks later for $75 for an X-ray tech to look at my X-ray, and I'm like, I didn't want an X-ray tech to look at my X-ray. I was taking it to another doctor. The only reason I came here is because the doctor I went to, his X-ray machine couldn't do what I asked it to do.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't.
So why
pay
did
that,
you have an
did
X-ray tech look at my fucking X-ray? I didn't get a report. He didn't call me.
Please tell me you didn't pay that.
I haven't paid it.
Good. Good on you.
I
Wayne.
disputed it.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's silly.
That's a lesson for all you out there. You be active in your health care. I'm not a doctor, but I play along.
I'm like,
That's Dr. Lefty.
I'm like, I have the receipt, paid in full. It says right here on the receipt, paid in full. Why are you charging me $75?
Don't be afraid to ask that doctor, why do I need an X-ray and a CT scan? Do I really need that? Especially when you start paying for your own health insurance.
Vets are the worst about it. Like dog doctors. I remember taking Zoe to a dog doctor when we first got her, and they wanted to test her for worms, and they wanted to do something else with her stool. Like they wanted to charge me for taking the stool out of the dog and testing for worms. So I'm like, if you're going to test it for worms, why do I have to pay you to take the stool out of the dog to begin with? Since you have to do it anyway to test for worms. That seems like a redundant bill.
It does. Unless there was an option to like bring some dog poop with you.
Then there's a dog poop processing fee.
When you say they took it out of the dog, they like reached in the dog's butthole and got some poop out?
They have a little thing that almost looks like a scooper, but it's real
Like a poop
small.
sampler.
Like an ice
and
cream
they go up the
scooper?
butt.
Like-
They go at the butt and they pull a little bit out and bring out some. Like it's a process that takes less than a minute.
Yeah,
And
I would
it's
hope
like
so.
$70.
I don't think I could last more
Unless
than
the dog unless the dog enjoys it, then they just keep doing it.
Another thing is they wanted to charge me like $30 a tooth to take out all her puppy teeth. I'm like, I've had dogs my entire life. I've never had them having trouble losing their puppy teeth. We'll skip this bill, please. They'll fall out when they want to fall out, just like mine did.
Did they end up falling out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just wanted some closure to that story.
Yeah, totally. I want to know how this.
Why the fuck do you charge like this?
Because most people will pay it. That's why.
Like when I had that MRSA infection, they wanted to charge me $350 to send it off to test it. So I'm like, well, we know you got an infection. We don't know if it's cellulitis or MRSA. I'm like, well, what does it look like? Well, it looks like MRSA. Well, treat it like MRSA. Does MRSA cure the cellulitis? He goes, yes. Well, do it that way. Save me $350.
I thought that's what they were like. I thought that was like standard operating procedures, that they treat for the worst thing. Like if they even think that it could be like a pneumonia or no, not pneumonia. What's the thing that's in your spine? What do you get that you have to have a spinal
Scoliosis?
tap to test for it? Meningitis, right? Spinal meningitis.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
If you present with things, and the first time a doctor says, it could be bacterial is the worst one, right? Viral, your body fights it off, or viral whatever the worst one. It could be meningitis. Immediately they start testing you and treating you for meningitis. Immediately, because that's like, you can't screw around with that. So, and MRSA's serious shit too. So if they thought it was MRSA, I'm wondering why they didn't immediately start testing and treating you for MRSA, and not quibble about like, oh, well,
I went through the equivalent of a fast food restaurant for doctors.
You sure did. I remember that and thinking like, this is a mistake. He's going to the Denny's of doctors.
Where'd you go?
Doctor's care.
Is that like urgent care?
They're like a fast food place for doctors. There's like two or three of them in a town down here. And, like, you just go in there. You don't have to have an appointment or anything. You just go in there, wait in line, and the doctor will see you.
No, I'm not
And you
familiar
see
with that.
Dr. Nick, and he just comes in. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Dr. Nick.
The doctor I had was one of those kind of typed on old typewriters back in his youth. He was
Did
like
you
at
see
least
that-
a gentleman of 85.
Did you guys see that The Simpsons have been sold to FX, I guess?
Really?
Oh, really?
So they're not
Yeah.
on Fox
Same
anymore?
network, though?
Unless I read what I read incorrectly, this has been a couple weeks ago, and they sold it. I don't know how many seasons it was, but it was a huge amount of money. I don't know if FX is buying the catalog or if they were. I took it as Simpsons is moving to FX, and it was something
isn't FX an affiliate of Fox anyway?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
There was hundreds of millions of dollars mentioned though.
Is Simpsons worth that much still?
Yeah. Simpsons is pretty good these days. I didn't realize that I haven't watched it in a while.
It's like it's season 23 though.
Yeah. Well, South Park's in season 15, or maybe more.
Isn't that amazing?
South Park's great, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
South Park is one of my Trey and Matt Parker. Trey Stone and Matt Parker, or is it Matt Stone and Trey Parker? Yeah, that one.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah, those guys are I really like those guys. I watch a lot of their interviews that they do for whoever they're doing. I watched one they did for IGN because apparently there's a South Park video game. Those guys are really funny and they're really smart, and they've been doing that shit forever. Like they I think they met in college and they've been together like partners ever since. And the Book of Mormon, it's so ridiculous. They came up with that musical, the Book of Mormon, and it's the biggest musical in 10 years. And it's from the guys from South Park.
Yeah, they're really good at what they do, and they're pretty damn rich.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those guys are.
But the amount of wealth they have is irrelevant to the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it is. Like they got crazy rich from like it was a lot of hard work, and they started out really small. South Park started out with some executive, someone mildly important paid them $1,200 to make an animated like Christmas card type thing, and they made like this somewhere between 5 and 8 minute long video of Santa Claus fighting Jesus, and Stan and maybe a couple other characters are standing there watching, and that's how South Park started. It went viral, got passed around a lot, and they ended up with a deal.
The reason South Park has the animation style that it does was because they just did it on cheap personal computers back in the day.
It's better than that. They did it with cardboard. I mean, they may have employed
Really?
some computers, but they said they spent like a week or two cutting out the cardboard, the construction paper for the characters. Like early on, it's like construction paper, like stop action animation type thing. It's as cheap as animation gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. They make a good product, and I like their social and political commentaries.
Yeah, they seem to be libertarians.
Yeah, I would say so. Which is
So we usually 100% stay away from drama. Do we want to talk about poor Nadeshot and his hack issues, or just skip it?
Man, poor Nate.
We'd skip it. I mean, you're just highlighting stuff so people do it again to other people.
I don't know about that. It's just a really shitty thing. Someone hacked into his stuff. It's shitty.
Yeah, I mean, what Nate Shot makes, and that's his business. I mean, for somebody to take it, that's like somebody coming to your house and taking some of your shit, dude. It's just wrong.
Yeah, I guess there was some backlash about how much he earned, but he earns it. I don't understand.
Right?
Any kind of
How much did Dad earn? Does
negativity
he
about
deserve it?
any kind of negativity about how much money someone earns can only be rooted in jealousy, because Nate Shot is such an upstanding, nice guy who just makes entertaining videos for people, streams it, and tries to be the best professional video game player he can be. So nobody should give him shit about how much money that he earns, because he earned it. I know he earned it because he got the checks. That's what earning is, in my opinion. Yeah, they should leave that guy alone. I really like Nate Shot a lot.
yeah.
We need a new topic. Where are we gonna go?
cruising earlier for topics, and I thought I had one, and it slipped my mind.
Stuck on Lefty's fingernails. They look
What?
dangerously long.
Do they?
That's woman pleasing, son. You don't know about that.
A woman, please. Are they? Let's see. Pull them to the camera. Are they?
No, they're legit.
No. Okay. All right. They just maybe.
Oh, never mind. I gave Lefty his woman pleasing badge too quickly.
Let's see yours. I'm clicking over to wings now. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Remember, I
You
just
packing
trimmed
over
mine
the
the
wings.
other day at your house. So
Yeah. Yeah, very trimmed. Okay. Mine grow really fast. I have to cut mine a couple times a week. I cut mine today.
Mine are always short.
You bite your nails?
Yes.
Terrible.
I've been
them
trying
too.
to not to, and I've been pretty good about it. But sometimes when I
what's
just get
bad about
bored,
biting your nails? Though? Why do people hate that?
I think it's bad for your teeth. And it's
I think
not-
it can
Oh,
also
it's
lead
bad for your
to
teeth.
infected like hangnails and stuff. It can
I
lead
have
to
had that. So, like, I think I described it to you guys. It was like, I don't know, my ring finger or something like that. The area between the nail and, the side of your finger, like in there, not the back or the front of the nail, but the side of it. Like, I got an infection in there, and it was really gross, and I literally had to, like, stab in with a knife and to, like, release pus that was inside my fucking finger. Very excruciating. Don't bite your nails.
That damn stink bug. Every so often I catch him out of the corner of my eye. He's over there somewhere.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just saw him. I think he's in this lamp.
You need, like, if only you had, like, an airsoft gun and you could put him on the wall and kill
No,
him
just
for our
get a
entertainment.
handgun. Bring a handgun out and just wait. You see him just start popping off.
Shotgun, really. I mean, it shoots a little pellet spread.
Yeah.
He wasn't
My
on
uncle.
the lamp. Where'd the fucker go?
Kyle, what's that? What do they call it from the other guys?
The other guy.
What's that?
A despot.
Desktop. Yeah, yep. Woody
There you
needs to
go.
pull up a desktop. That'd be funny if he did it with blanks. That'd be pretty hilarious, like in the middle of a PKA. Like recreate that scene where you shoot into the closet, like from Major Payne. He's still in there, he ain't happy.
Sometimes I see him out of the corner of my eye. In this most recent time, I heard him too, because he's like, the buzzing and he's like slamming against the lampshade. Like,
Oh,
zzz.
okay.
I was like,
I thought you were hearing him crawl. I was like, what? Wait, what?
No, he was.
Are you sound whoring bugs?
He collides and I can hear him. And sometimes, and these are false alerts, I feel something in my shirt, like just creepy crawling. I'm like, there's nothing there. So
That's the worst when that actually happens, though. I had this nightmare when I was younger about wasps being like all over my legs in bed, and I like, woke up and like pulled my legs up to my chest and was like checking them, and it was like a good like 2 or 3 minutes before I could like make myself believe like, yeah, that was just a dream, dude. You don't have wasps all over your legs. Just go back to sleep. And then the other day I felt something crawling on my ankle in bed, and I like pull my leg up to me and look under my pants, like there's a wasp crawling up my leg.
Oh. That's. Ugh.
Yeah,
Screw that.
no good. I don't like those things. That's how I spent my summers as a child, was killing wasps, because there would be like nests everywhere on our place, and my cousin and I would. Did I ever tell the story about when we made the homemade bee suit?
No, I haven't heard it personally. But
So
that
I
sounds
wanted
awesome.
to. So there was this old abandoned like trailer home pushed to the edge of my dad's property, and it was full of wasp nests because the windows were knocked out because I knocked them out. And I mean, they were everywhere, just huge wasp nests in there. And we would kind of throw rocks at them or poke them with sticks. And this particular day, we decided to step our game up. Keep in mind, it was 103 degrees this day. So here's what my bee suit consisted of: boots with 2 pairs of jeans, duct taped at the cuff at the bottom. I was wearing a paintball mask on my head, and then I pulled a ski mask on top of that, so I can see through the glass and through the ski mask, but nothing can get on my head or neck. Then I duct taped that to my coat at the neck, and then I put gloves on, and I duct taped that, to my sleeves. No way in. And I just walked up into this thing, and there were like, there were hundreds of wasps, and I got a handgun in one hand and like just a stick in the other, and I'm just like walking up to these things and like crushing the nest with my bare hands, and generally having a good time of it at the age of 15. And then I had a heat stroke and could not get out of the fucking bee suit, and I was just laying on the ground, and they had to get me out. I was like, cut me out! Cut me out! Could not breathe. Almost died because of my stupid bee suit that day. Totally worth it. But yeah, there's tons and tons of wasps here. They live under like the eaves of houses and stuff, and we spent our childhood fighting the wasps. We would make bows with flaming arrows and stuff, crossbows, and
You should tell him about how you wanted to use a homemade flamethrower against a wasp the other day.
yeah, I totally did. And then Dad wasn't up for it. He was worried I was going to burn the building down. I just
But
went and
that's
got
okay
him.
if you get a wasp.
Yeah, those things look
You
dangerous.
got an old wood barn, and he wants to take an aerosol can and put a lighter in front of it to get it out.
Yeah, well, that's no big deal. People think that's dangerous. They're like, oh, it's going to run in the can and blow up. That doesn't happen. That's the most
I'm worried about the barn being on fire.
Nah, I don't. You know how hard it is to start a fire. Like if you're trying to start a campfire, so like a pressure treated 2x4, it's not going to burst into flames you spray it with a little fire. I could have hit that thing with an acetylene torch for 10 seconds and it wouldn't have caught on fire. Just no reaction.
All right, we're slowing down here. We're almost at 3 hours of recording.
Yeah, do we want to call it an early show?
Do we wanna...
I think so.
All right.
I think so. All right.
Woody's fault. Woody ended it.
Woody wants to deal with that stink bug.
Woody's looking around like, oh, I'm gonna get this stink bug.
That sucker is mine. All right. Painkiller Already 157. Check out our sponsors.
Later, guys.